Thanks, Dick. Here at the Orange Bowl, we're getting set for the national championship game. The Nebraska Cornhuskers, with that 52-point-a-game offense, gets there running the ball. Miami John is a great passer, and he's young.
Well, not only do they have a great passer, he's a freshman, 6'5", 205 pounds. And in modern football history, collegiate-wise, I don't think there's ever been an opportunity for a freshman quarterback to lead his team to a national championship.
We'll be going back to the Rose Bowl right after these messages.
In defeating UCLA 45-9 over Illinois, they beat one of the best defensive teams in the country and racked up 510 yards total offense.
They certainly did a great job of it. The man who did it is on the field, Terry Donahue. And we'd like to know, Terry, a little bit about what your secret was today. You certainly had one.
Well, Merlin, we were just real happy with the game. I can't tell you we didn't have a secret. We went into the game not knowing exactly what would happen. I just told our team that if we ever played a great game, today was the day to play it. And sure enough, we played a wonderful game, and Rick and all the fellas did a great job.
Maybe you could hand that muffin. Congratulations, Terry, to Rick Neuheisel. What a story. A walk-on, and he certainly earned his spurs. He deserved to be here today.
Well, Rick, we're proud of what he's accomplished in this program as a walk-on athlete and then earning the scholarship. And nobody could have played a better game than he played today. And you probably ought to talk to him. I didn't have anything to do with this thing. I just stood around here, but Rick Neuheisel did it. And why don't you talk to him?
Rick Neuheisel, a walk-on from Tempe, Arizona. Oh, as he made the people in Westwood, California proud.
Rick, was that your most pleasing game, most exciting game ever?
Well, without a doubt, it was my most memorable moment in my life, you know. How can I put it into words right now, you know, with the Illinois band screaming in my ear here? It's tough for me to tell you, but I'm telling you what, I've never been more proud to play with a bunch of guys like the guys on my team. They've never showed so much character throughout the year, and hopefully now we can make the top 20.
Well, you sure did a great job today. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Rick Neuheisel of UCLA. We haven't heard any word on the most valuable player, but be hard not to vote for that young man. What a day he had. 22 for 31, 298 yards, and 4 touchdowns, no interception. Final thought?
A lot of happy people in Westwood tonight, and I think Illinois fans saying, wait till next year.
Dick Enberg for Merlin Olsen, thank you for being with us at the Rose Bowl. Stay with us. We've got Nebraska and Miami coming up. Happy New Year again, everyone. So long from Pasadena. The fabulous Mike Rozier leads #1 Nebraska into the final challenge for a national championship. Rozier with an NCAA career touchdown record of 29 this season, leading the Huskers. The blocking attack led by 71 Dean Steinkuhler. His coach, Tom Osborne's concerned about mistakes.
I think any time that you're involved in a game with a great football team, the turnovers are really critical, so we have to hang on to the ball. We hope we can get a few of our own and play pretty much error-free football. We've practiced well, prepared well, and I think we're going to play a good game.
We have the opportunity to beat what some people are considering the best football team of the last 10 years. I'm sure that Texas and Auburn and Georgia would love to have this opportunity, but we're the one that has it. So we're looking at it strictly in that light, an opportunity for us to become one of the top teams in the country.
Linebacker Jay Brophy, a Miami All-American, keys a Hurricane defense that allows less than 10 points a game. But if Miami is to upend the #1 team, quarterback Bernie Kosar of the Hurricanes has to have a big game. He's a freshman, but plays like a veteran. Kosar to Eddie Brown could be the key. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. We serve more of this land's top 100 business centers than any other airline. Fly the friendly skies.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by Hilton.
Is it the national championship of college football? Miami, Florida, City of Lights for the golden anniversary game of the Orange Bowl, and the weather in South Florida is just right for this most important college football game. #1 Nebraska with a 12-0 record under Coach Tom Osborne, needing one more victory. Goes against a much smaller but a very physical, tough University of Miami team under Howard Schnellenberger that has won 10 straight games. And now with the upset today of Texas, Miami is in the hunt for the national championship. Schnellenberger and his Miami Hurricanes geared and ready. They've not played in 7 weeks. They've been off since their last game, November 12th, but they're on the home field. And in 5 years under Schnellenberger at the Orange Dickens prepared team ready to take on one of the great teams in college football history, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. We'll be back with the golden anniversary game of the Orange Bowl for the national championship right after this. Don Criqui with John Brody back at the Orange Bowl. We're ready to kick it off. Nebraska getting here with a perfect 12-0 mark. The Huskers started fast, blew out Penn State at Giant Stadium in the Meadowlands, and on they roll, averaging 52 points a game. They scored more points this season than any team in NCAA history. Miami knocked out at Florida early in the season, and then the Miami Hurricanes started to roll. 10 consecutive victories. One big and one when they had to come from behind, but they won.
It looked to me like Nebraska's, when they posted those scores, looked like the end of a basketball season.
They score like a basketball team. The Huskers averaging 52 points a game. Miami has won the toss, but the Hurricanes want to establish their defense against Nebraska's great offense, and Miami has elected to kick off. Jeff Daverson, he's not big, but he can kick it deep. Ready to hit the ball now for the Hurricanes, and there are two great players. Irving Fryar is back deep, ready to take the kickoff, and back with him is Mike Rozier, 6 yards deep in the end zone, and he is counseled not to bring it out. And so the Huskers go on offense, 1st and 10 at their 20. And there's the whip cracker, the man who makes the Huskers go, quarterback Turner Gill. The fullback, big and very quick Mark Shalene, the Heisman Trophy winner Mike Rozier, averaging almost 8 yards a carry. Irving Fryar's another great threat at the wingback position. Ricky Simmons, they don't go to him often, but he can catch the ball and he blocks. And Engebretson, the tight end, is a blocker primarily. So we're ready to go. Nebraska. 1st and 10 from the Huskers 20. They're going to put it up. Turner Gill throws, and he's got his wing back. Irving Fryar didn't get much. He was hit at about the 24-yard line as Coach Osborne now sends in the play. Ken Siska, linebacker, knocked him down. Mark Denning, one of the Nebraska tackles, 300 pounds. Henry Grimminger, the other offensive guard. Next to him, Mike Tranowitz is the center and a good one. Dean Steinkühler, probably the best. Lombardi and Outland winner. Scott Raritan, he's over 300 pounds at right tackle. They got Diggins on the bookends, John.
Don, you can slide all the stats you want about that offensive line, but I'll tell you another one. They average 9 letters per last name right across the line. That means they've got a lot of long names and a lot of big fellas. 270-pound average. And they move people around.
Well, those jerseys are broad enough to carry a lot of letters. And now it's going to be 2nd down and 5 for Nebraska. Opening series of downs. The option, Turner Gill, a pitch back to Rozier, and he's open. Rozier is an open field. And finally, Reggie Sutton knocks him down as Mike Rozier almost breaks at the distance. Good for a 27-yard gain and a 1st down for the Huskers.
Don, to talk about what kind of a feat that is, and we may see a bit more of that today, the Hurricanes have allowed only one running back all year long to gain over 20 yards. That was a 28-yarder. This is the 2nd longest run against this defense all year long by the Heisman Trophy winner. I guess it figures.
And right now, Nebraska breaks the front of the Miami Hurricanes and goes back to Rozier. And again, the power run. And look at Rozier rip it open all the way down to the 30. A free football, though they're going to rule he's down. The officiating crew from the Southeast Conference, an 18-yard gain on that carry by Mike Rozier. Danny Brown knocked him down as the huge Nebraska front just overpowering Miami these last 2 plays.
Well, the coaches were a little concerned. They're not going to blitz, I don't think, as much as they normally would because they want a lot of pursuit. They don't want their linebackers out of position, but Rozier has run right through their position.
1st and 10, Nebraska. Free football. A free ball at the 30-yard line, but Cornhusker, it looks like Scott Raritan or Dean Steinkühler came up with the ball, so they keep it. Danny Brown's a defensive end. They're small, more like outside linebackers. Kevin Fagan, a good pass rusher at 265 pounds. Key player for Miami is the middle guard, Tony Fitzpatrick. And Fred Robinson, not heavy, but very, very fast. Julio Cortez, outside on the left side. Jay Brophy gained All-America mention as a linebacker, and Ken Siska is the leading tackler for Miami. First back through is Shalene. And Brophy is waiting for him. Short gain, it'll be 3rd and long.
Archie Sutton, one corner. They're very hard-hitting, quick corners. Eddie Williams plays free safety. Kenny Calhoun, he'll blitz a lot, and Rod Bellinger's played a great year as the strong corner, comes out on the same side as the tight end.
That's a play we've seen an awful lot of this year, Don. It's one of those, both teams have a little personal grudge against one another. Cornerback and wide receiver get after it. They do throw a penalty to tell them to cool down, but no harm, no foul.
Offsetting penalties. And so it'll be 3rd down and 8 again, and they'll go from the 28-yard line. Nebraska looking for a national championship. They've not had one since 1971, and Tom Osborne's had great teams, but never has gone the distance.
Let's see if that stat stays up.
They're Nate Huskers. No score in the first quarter. Gill all day long fires, and he has a man that's broken up. He was going to one of his wideouts, Scott Kimball, but Rod Bellinger was there to break it up. So now an interesting dilemma for Osborne and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. 4th down and 8 coming up. They've only tried 4 field goals all year. And the punter doesn't play in a lot of games.
That's the area where you can see the packed Orange Bowl. This is the area where they take 4 downs to get their first. This is an exception. They feel they have a kicker can kick it 44 yards.
Scott Livingston's the man who will try it. The 45-yard attempt. Werner Gill, the quarterback, will hold. It is down. It's blocked. Miami has the football. So the Miami Hurricanes have this place in absolute pandemonium. They've captured this town. And the Orange Bowl, early as it is in jubilation over a blocked field goal.
The special teams knew they had to come up with some kind of a big play to get something happening early in the ball game. They did that. Remember, this team has kicked only 4 field goals all season. That's the least in modern football history. They made a big play against a weak group.
The game is 2 rushes for 45 yards, but Nebraska's first drive was stopped, and then a field goal attempt was blocked by Miami of Florida, and so the Hurricanes take over the ball for the first time in the game. It is 0-0 first quarter. Bernie Kosar, a 6'5" freshman quarterback, directing the Miami offense, but he plays like a veteran. And he comes out of firing. Wide open is Stanley Shakespeare. He's down to the 34-yard line.
When you take a look, when you're talking about Bernie Kosar, you're talking about a fellow that's quite rare indeed. Now he's got his man down the field. He's in a perfect position. Got to throw it over the top of 2 linebackers. Throws it to Stanley Shakespeare. Picks up a first down. The first play of the evening is a big one.
Real big one. Miami Hurricanes come out of firing, and now they have the ball inside the 35-yard line of Nebraska. 1st and 10. Keith Griffin, Archie's little brother, takes it inside the 25-yard line, and he has a first down for Miami. The 1984 Orange Bowl is brought to you by Nissan, who invites you to see the new 1984 Nissan 300ZX at your Datsun dealer now. By Goodyear Tires and Goodyear Service for more good years of your car. By Anheuser-Busch St. Louis Brewers of Michelob, some things speak for themselves. And by Mutual of Omaha, the people you can count on. The Miami Hurricanes, the underdog by 2 touchdowns, driving on their first possession. Now have it 1st and 10, 23-yard line of Nebraska. Kosar with a quick drop. Comes the ball. Shakespeare's open. He's down to the 2-yard line. Kosar fire and strikes. 22 yards and a 1st and goal.
Don, he fired a strike to it. This is an alternate receiver. He's trying to go to the right side, the short side. He's got 3 receivers open on that side. Finally, he finds Stanley Shakespeare in a one-on-one situation with Neil Harris. Throws it right in between the 2 defenders down to the 1.5-yard line. I've heard how fine this man throws the ball. He's shown it early.
He has really shown it early, and now they're down at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, Miami. Looking for
points of the game. Bentley runs, and he didn't get there. The big front line of Nebraska, led by middle guard Mike Tranmer, number 64, threw him back. And Osborne knew that Miami'd come out throwing, and they came out throwing strikes. Kosar with 2 big hits to Stanley Shakespeare. It's 2nd and goal.
And it's good logic. You don't go up there and try and establish that you can't do something against a team like Nebraska. They know where their ace of spades is. It's in number 20. Let him get after it. He's had 6 weeks to prepare for this team, and he started fast.
2nd down and goal, Miami. No score, first quarter. Albert Bentley. A big play by Nebraska, Ken Graber.
Don, this is Mark Trestman and Howard Schnellenberger. Mark sends the plays in. This is his first year as a full-time assistant. He has his law degree. He was a graduate at the University of Minnesota. He works with the quarterbacks, and his statement about number 20 is that I've never seen a man with as much awareness as Bernie has. He's going to need it all right here, 3rd and 3.
Watch for the tight end to the right, Glenn Dennison. Kosar takes a look. He throws to Dennison. Touchdown, Miami. Glenn Dennison was indeed the man as he makes his 55th reception of this season. And Coach Schnellenberger and the Hurricanes have something to celebrate early in this game.
But you don't see Howard doing any celebrating. He knows it's a long 3-hour struggle. He's been in a lot of big games before. Don't let people think, fool you and get you the feeling that this is his first big game. He coached with Bear Bryant. He coached with Don Shula in a lot of championship games. He's been there before. This is the first time he's had the controls, however.
And right now, the place kicker comes out, Jeff Davis. Ready to try the point after. Glenn Dennison, who caught the touchdown pass. A new dad. Wife gave birth to a little boy last week. And right now, we're going to have a pause. Timeout on the field. 9 minutes and 18 seconds to play first quarter, and here's the touchdown throw again.
All right, you see Dennison. He's a 225-pound, 6'4" tight end that the people think can play professional football. Now, Kosar has helped him a lot throughout the year, but he's supposed to have very nifty feet, real strong hands. When you get down in a situation like this, Kosar had a very small area in which to put the ball, but he did so.
Glenn Dennison, he graded up, trained up, John, from 212 pounds at the last game, November 12th, to 230 came in tonight. Teammates told him he was eating for 2 instead of his wife.
Yeah, but he didn't lose much speed, and that's why the coaches felt it was all right.
And here's the extra point by Jeff Davis. It's good. And so, the Miami Hurricanes get the ball for the first time and take it down the field on the right arm of freshman Bernie Kosar. Finally, on the payoff end, it's Kosar to his tight end, Glenn Dennison. All season long, Bernie Kosar has proved he could play in the big league with his freshman year now with him, and he's just thrown 3 for 3 for 47 yards, culminating in the touchdown pitch to his tight end, Dennison.
And when I asked Mark Trestman earlier, what were the determining factors in his picking the University of Miami, he said, some people say, hey, what were you looking for? A fine university? What do you like? Coach Schnellenberger? He said, I was looking for a top-line offense, and this was where I found it.
It's a pro-passing game. Bernie Kosar, thinking man's quarterback. He's a Dean's List student. So, Jeff Davis kicks it off a second time, and again he pumps it into the end zone. But here comes Rozier. What a great player. And Rozier comes from a yard deep out to the 31-yard line. And the Huskers take over for a second time, but down on the scoreboard 7-0 to Miami with 9:09 to play in the first quarter. Turner Gill, the senior quarterback from Fort Worth, Texas. He's a great comeback story. 2 years ago at the Orange Bowl, he was on the sidelines with a brace on his right foot. The doctors told him there was a strong possibility he'd not walk properly again because of nerve damage. The operation, though, was a success, and they say the rest is history. Turner Gill's come back to be one of the great quarterbacks in the history of the Big Eight.
And I think Tom Osborne said it best as they attend to an injured Husker. He said, you know, for what we do, I think Turner Gill may be the best quarterback in this country. And his stats indicate that. I know they've got a good group, but he's the one that really coordinates it all. He's thrown 13 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. A quarterback with a football team that scores 84 touchdowns only throws 4 interceptions. That's all right.
It surely is, and Turner Gill will try to get the Huskers a-rolling when we come back to the golden anniversary of the Orange Bowl. But high above the Orange Bowl in Miami. Both the pilot of the blimp, John Plaskonik, and his technical coordinator, Mickey Whitman, attended the University of Miami and played for the Hurricanes in the 60s. Right now, the Hurricanes on defense, the Huskers on offense, 1st and 10, pitched back Rozier. Winston Moss, number 92, and Joe Willie Namath is on the sideline after Moss made the stop.
And people might say, why is Joe Willie sitting over there on the Hurricane sideline? Well, in truth, the man that got him to Alabama was Howard Schnellenberger, and he invited him to come down and sit on the bench with the fellas, and Joe didn't take long to make a decision.
Joe ain't sitting. Nobody is. 2nd down and 10, Nebraska. Pitch back. Rozier. They get him. There they lose him, and now Rod Bellinger, not big at 5'9", 185, but he's a sticker. Comes up to make a big hit. It's 3rd and long.
Okay. You take a look. We mentioned over 90%. The Huskers throw on 3rd and long. Now they've got their favorite play, a little option play from number 12 to Rozier. When it doesn't go anywhere, they're sitting in a throwing situation. That's what Miami's been trying to get.
3rd down and 12. Turner Gill throws a strike to Rozier, but they get him short of the 1st down. As the white shirts come gang tackling, again led by Rod Bellinger, number 4. Rod's backup, Doug McFadden, was the young man helped off the field a short time ago. But Bellinger makes consecutive big plays, and Nebraska has to punt the ball. They punted the football this season less than any team in 38 years, not since the Nevada-Reno team of 1948. Has any team punted as few times as has Nebraska, 36 times in 12 games.
48, that was Marion Motley up there, wasn't it?
A high punt downfield. Livingston hitting the ball, and it tried to roll out. 33-yard punt by Scott Livingston. He wanted more. And up comes Kosar and the Hurricane offense for a 2nd time. They went the distance the first time they had the ball, and Miami leads the game 7-0. A look at the Miami offense. Bernie Kosar, the freshman quarterback. Albert Bentley, they say that Rozier's the Rolls Royce of runners, but Miami has its Bentley. Keith Griffin, Archie's little brother with that big run. Shakespeare with the 2 big receptions in that first touchdown drive. Eddie Brown is the deep threat, though. He's the guy to watch, number 40. And Dennison, who caught the touchdown ball.
I think he must have been the guy they've been watching.
Bernie Kosar sets Miami down at the 31-yard line. To the run to Albert Bentley. And he's hit him hard at about the 32-yard line. Ken Graber, the middle guard, again making the stop for Nebraska. Coach Osborne in his 11th year as the head man. They say you can't follow the great ones. He did. Bob Devaney had 11 straight winning seasons and back-to-back national championships. When he retired, in came Osborne with great teams year after year. He's not yet gone the distance. This could be his year. Right now, Miami with the ball leads 7-0. Kosar's hit all 3 of his throws so far for 47 yards and a touchdown. Is good by inside linebacker Mark Daum, number 51.
A little better than good, Donnie. He had a good 6-7 counts to throw that ball. Remember, Kosar's offensive line is excellent. They played 5 games without making a mental error, letting anybody get in Bernie's face. Now that gives him enough time. He's got plenty of confidence. He'll throw a lot of patterns where he has Dennison go down the field, cut back. Excellent coverage by Daum.
Michigan, an upset leader right now over Auburn University, the 3rd-ranked team in the country, once beaten Auburn at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. The offensive front of Miami is not big. Bertolucci is a freshman at left tackle.
Juan Commandiero, Cuban-born, is the left guard. The center from Canada, Ian Sinclair, and he's good. The right guard has been a terrific player all season long, Alvin Ward from Chicago, and the right tackle is Dave Heffernan. Third down and 9 for Kosar and the Miami Hurricanes. And it's a first down, Miami. 12 yards and a first down.
Tell you what, Bernie Kosar is impressive, but that offensive line is more so. They gave him another 6 counts to throw the ball. Eddie Brown was not the intended receiver again. It was a man-to-man defense. Take a look. These 5 guys are setting up. They're getting a little help from a fullback, but nobody's even close to Kosar. When he comes over to Eddie Brown, he makes a fine catch. Burke falls down, and he gets a first.
First it is, out to the 45-yard line, so Miami hits the big third down throw. Kosar throwing strikes right throughout the first quarter. Nebraska's showing blitz. They do it a lot. They hold back, though. Kosar takes a look, swings it out. Albert Bentley had his team across the 50 and down inside the Nebraska 45-yard line. Again, Mark Dahm was on the defensive play for the Huskers, but going to be very close to a first down.
What a well-thrown ball. Good pattern. We look at the defense for Nebraska. They've got to tighten up a little.
They're giving up some yards right now. Big, strong people. Mike Keeler's had a big year for the Huskers, and Bill Weber, a small defensive end, but a good one. There's the key player, Mike Knox. He's broken 5 helmets already this year, and Mark Dahm we've seen make a lot of plays. Knox, number 44, actually on his 6th helmet. Equipment manager will attest to his ability. Second down and 1. Long one. Right across the gut. Alonzo Highsmith, a freshman from Miami, goes for 18 yards and yet another Miami Hurricane first down. He was one of the Florida Players of the Year last season at Columbus High School in Miami, but he was a defensive player.
And I'll tell you, the unknown quantity has an awful lot of quality, because these fellas are not in awe of what many people consider the best college football team that's ever been assembled. They had 6 people that made all Big 8. They've got 4 All-Americans on their offense. Right now, Miami's running through their defense.
Miami getting big play after big play. 5:16 to play first quarter. Miami leading 7-0. Kosar against the blitz, throws it, and he's high for Eddie Brown. It'll be second down and 10. One problem Nebraska's had in this great season has been giving up a lot of pass coverage, although there's good players back there. Dave Burke is one of the best, one of the corners. Brett Clark saved the Oklahoma State game with an interception in the end zone. McCashlin's the blitzer, the monster back. And Neil Harris saved the Oklahoma game with 2 plays in the end zone in the closing seconds.
Well, these fellas are sitting back there way ahead in most ball games. Now everybody offensively is going to throw the ball at them. That's why they get a lot of yardage piled up, but not many points.
It's usually all a team has to do with throw the ball because they're so far down early to Nebraska, but not tonight. Miami's leading 7-0. Kosar. Dennison looking for a penalty call, but there is none. The coverage is ruled good. Strasburger was out of number 90. 12,000 fans rolled on in from Nebraska. They're about 5,000 short in tickets, though. They needed 17,000 wanted to come.
You mentioned that Strasburg was on him. He was also on him for a very long time. Now, he's very lucky that he got away without a personal roughness penalty. We see Dennison, the tight end. We saw him catch a touchdown. He's trying to beat the 2 linebackers. They've got all the 5 short zones covered. Kosar can't find him.
And now Kosar has 3rd and 10 against the blitz. They pick it up nicely. He throws, but he's not through Dennison. And again, the Miami fans want a penalty call. Kosar is excellent against the blitz, even though he's a freshman. They work on the blitz every day in practice. Here it is. Knox is coming, 44. And Ward picks him up and runs him off the play. Alvin Ward with the big flat block.
When you see Knox coming, it means they have to find some way, as we mentioned earlier, to get to Kosar. You give a quarterback of his ability that much time to throw, and there's nothing he has to do but pick people up.
And now is a 45-yard field goal attempt by Jeff Davis, he's hit only 1 of 10 outside the 40, even though he's a long kicker. This one's on the way, and this one is right on time. So Miami doing it all right. Coach Schnellenberger trots the sidelines again, as he always does after a score. 4:51 to play in the first quarter, and Miami has opened up a 10-0 lead. A long way to go, but the biggest upset of the year could be brewing in the Orange Bowl.
The first Orange Bowl 50 years ago was the vision of Miami Recreation Director Ernie Seiler. He had to purchase temporary bleachers for the 5,000 fans who came to see Bucknell defeat the University of Miami 26-0.
50 years later, here we are on the golden anniversary night with the underdog Miami Hurricanes leading top-ranked and unbeaten Nebraska 10-0 with 4:51 to play in the first quarter. Don Quickie with John Brody on a big night in Miami, Florida. The Hurricanes ready to kick it off for a third time in the first quarter. Davis hits a line drive. Here comes Irving Fryer. And he is struck down hard at about the 29-yard line. A 19-yard return by Irving Fryer, and out comes Turner Gill in the Nebraska offense. Interesting, John. Rozier had a 27-yard run his first carry, and there's the numbers. 18, and then they shut him down his last 2 tries. We will hear from him.
We'll hear from him, but they don't seem too concerned.
First and 10, Nebraska. Shalane, the fullback, running hard. Mark Shalane takes it straight ahead from the 20 out to about the 26-yard line. Gain of 6.
Tony Fitzpatrick, number 62, the nose tackle on Trainowitz. Now look at this. It's necessary for him to make penetration in the middle of the line, for the linebackers to be able to fill the holes, and the whole defense to operate. That time he got blown off.
Rozier breaks open, and Mike Rozier is a hit for a Nebraska first down. Rozier with that 41 pitch goes ahead for 12 yards. They say he's got a great throttle down move. He'll wait for his blocks, fast as he is. Once those big linemen commit, Rozier makes his decision and goes. That time a 12-yard gain. Nebraska gets a first down out to its 47-yard line. 4:03 to play first quarter, and the clock runs. Miami 10, Nebraska nothing. Pitch back, Rozier. Tremendous play. Jack Fernandez, senior linebacker number 51, makes the play behind the line of scrimmage.
It's necessary to string this play out. They keep all their people in good position so that when he does cut back, they've got some people to pick it up. This time he never gets his play started. Jack Fernandez, a reserve linebacker who is playing quite a bit of late, makes a fine play.
Now Turner Gill stops on second 11. He throws a strike, and the ball is caught downfield. Monty Engelbretson, the tight end, takes it inside the 40-yard line. A gain of 15 yards, and Nebraska has a first down. They don't throw to Monty often, as you see. He says, when they do, I appreciate it.
Well, I'll tell you, one day they did throw it to him 3 times when they played Penn State on national television in the opening game. So in the rest 11, he only caught 4 balls. He's primarily a blocker and a fine one, but can't catch it.
He's from Hastings, Nebraska, hometown of his coach, Tom Osborne. Now the Huskers starting to move and trailing 10-0. The give is to the first back through, Shalane, the fullback. Big at 225 and very fast at 4.5 speed for the 40. He's ahead for 3.
Don, we talked about Tony Fitzpatrick, how important it is for him to get penetration. This time he throws Trainowitz away. When he does so, he gets some contact on the ball carrier before he gets to the line. And look at number 54, Jay Brophy, sitting right there at the line of scrimmage to pick up the runner.
Now it's second down and 8, Nebraska. Swing pass, Rozier. And a tremendous play by freshman Reggie Sutton. Rod Bellinger, number 4, comes up, makes the hit. And that's the 3rd big hit by Bellinger at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd down now. They're going to spot the ball actually at about the 41-yard line.
Well, I've been told that Bellinger was an excellent hitter, but I didn't know he reacted as fast as he has. He's handled Rozier on 2 plays of that type, keeping him from making any yards at all. That's the way to play.
Touchdown now for the Huskers, 3rd and 11. Turner Gill on the rollout. He's got the strong arm, and he lets it rip. It's intercepted. Jack Fernandez. Kevin Fagan put the rush on number 95, and Jack Fernandez, a 211-pound linebacker, comes down with an interception, and Miami has the ball again.
Don't have to weigh much down to get in the way of balls like he just did. Excellent reaction. Again, it's a 3rd down and 9. How many times have the Hurricanes put the Huskers in this position? When they do, they pretty well rest assured they're going to throw. They've got their linebackers in a deep zone coverage. Fernandez comes down with the intercept.
As we pointed out earlier, John, Turner Gill throws very few, less than 3% interceptions. Albert Bentley runs the ball, and Albert Bentley takes it to midfield, ripping up a gain of some 16 yards. The crowd is a Miami crowd predominantly, and they've got something to cheer tonight, at least this early.
Well, the important thing is that they knew that Miami had to get off to a fast start, and they did that with defensive outstanding plays. They stopped them. They made them throw the ball on 3rd down and longer than 6 yards to go. That is not what Nebraska likes to do, and when they did get it, they knew what to do with it.
And now yet another first down for Miami, just short of midfield. Ernie Kosar with a deep drop. He might go the distance. Look at that move, and then he drives hooked in. Touchdown Miami, but there's a penalty marker down.
And he also did not get in, I do not believe. I think he was stopped about the 1 yard line. He stepped out of bounds, but I don't know if they saw that.
It's coming back.
But it's coming all the way back.
Part of the way back. Stanley Shakespeare calls for an illegal block. Showing early in this game, the Miami Hurricanes, who waited for this chance, a rebuilding program the last 5 years, and they've played inspirational football since the opening kickoff. They've scored on their 2 earlier possessions. They wanted to kick off, and they did, to show they could stop Nebraska. Huskers drove and had a field goal blocked in Miami, and Kosar took over, driving down and going in for a touchdown and a throw. Kosar to tight end Dennison. Last possession, a 45-yard field goal. And now Miami has it 2nd and short. Kosar, look, and he's got a man open. Chris Smith. He's hit 2 now to his tight end, Glenn Dennison, in the end zone. Penalty marker's down. Extra point was through, but there's a penalty marker. And it's against the Huskers, so the extra point goes. And the shot
there. It's a too-deep zone. Until he gets to the end zone, nobody makes contact.
Another look now from ground level as Bernie Kosar looking things over, and there's Dennison, the great sure-handed receiver from Joe Namath's hometown. Dennison's from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, and he's in for his second touchdown of the game. It is 17-0 Miami. The new dad, Glenn Dennison. Two receptions, twice in the end zone. Kickoff of the first quarter for Miami. It's a rocket. Rozier, 5 yards deep. And the Huskers will get it on touchback at their 20. The Cornhuskers are stunned, John.
Well, they've been stunned because I think it's been good defense by the Canes. They've stopped them and put them in the 3rd down and 8 situation. Now, sure, Rozier's made 27 yards, 18 yards on occasions, but if he doesn't make the 6 and 7 yards consistently, they can shut him down, put him into third down situations, and make them punt.
Well, let's see. It's 1st and 10 Nebraska. Pitch back Rozier. And Miami's small, quick lineman again shed the blocks of those huge frontliners for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Jay Brophy shooting the gap and making the stop.
He's loving it. He got a little help that time, too, from old number 62. Fitzpatrick has been amazing. He's been out of action for 8 weeks. They did not know what to expect tonight. He said it won't be anything special, but it'll be the best I can do. And that's been pretty special.
It has been real good so far. The Miami defense has been key to them getting the Cornhuskers stopped and getting the ball. And now an end around to Irving Fryer. He doesn't go anywhere, and he averages 14 yards a run through the season. Julio Cortez, one of those small ends at 205 pounds, stayed home and knocked him down. You must remember, though, when it's Nebraska, they can start to score like a basketball team. Against Colorado, they were in a tight game. As one Colorado player said, it was like a bomb hit in the 3rd quarter. Nebraska scored 48 points in the 3rd quarter.
That's right, and Miami knows it. They know they're going to get all they can. While it's going their way, they've got 3 quarters to play. They will not try and hold on. Don't worry about that. They know it's throw as much as you can at the wall and hope most of it sticks.
Back at the Orange Bowl in Miami, Don Crookie with John Brody. It has been a most unbelievable first quarter of play. The underdog Miami Hurricanes rolling up a 17-0 lead. They call this the most important game, John, in the history of the Miami University football team, and it could be the biggest upset in many years of college football.
I don't think there's any doubt that the University of Miami is not only excited, but college football is on a par with pro right now.
Now, Nebraska hits a big play. Ricky Simmons, a fleet wide receiver from Greenville, Texas, catches the ball and gets ahead for a Husker first down. When you look at the numbers, though, that Nebraska threw into the football computer this year, they about blew it apart. Over 600 points scored, 52 points a game. How many touchdowns you say, John?
84, that's not too bad. I can hardly even use numbers like that, but right now, they're not making much. And I'm crediting Miami.
Rozier going wide, and another big play. Again, it is Julio Cortez, a junior from Miami, Florida. He's not big. Miami defensive coaches were talking about they'd have to blitz a lot against what they thought would be running plays to try to get these great Nebraska backs before they get started.
You know, they said that, but Tom Olivato said to me simply, we're going to try our four down linemen. We're going to try to play stand. It's working, and they haven't had to use the blitz. They've been in control of the line of scrimmage, and that's a rare thing indeed.
Early in the second quarter, underdog Miami leading top-ranked and unbeaten Nebraska 17-0. Swing pass. Irving Fryer, he gets popped again. It's Bellinger. He's got the Nebraska playbook, this Rob Bellinger.
Well, it's a tough thing to do, you know. We just got word that one of their outstanding linebackers, Kansas City, got a knee injury. That's why we saw Jack Fernandez in there in the last series of plays defensively.
probably not return, but pretty happy guys. They all are right now. 14:34 to play in the first half, and Nebraska has to punt the ball. Eddie Brown is the deep man, and he's tough. Livingston's first was only 33 yards. He gets off a tremendous punt, though. And fast, Eddie Brown goes to the 14. There he goes. He's tough to catch. Eddie Brown with one man to beat. He cannot do it. Mark Shalene, blocking back on the punt, a 225-pound fullback, caught him. But Eddie Brown just ripped off his biggest return of this season. And Miami's ready to go again.
Well, how sweet it is. You talk about special teams doing their part of the job. These fellas up front have created holes. They've made fine plays, rushing the punter. They've been doing their job on kickoff returns. And Eddie Brown just brings a long punt return.
48 yards long, and it's down to the 43-yard or the 38-yard line of Nebraska. First and 10. Kosar, he'll check off a lot at the line of scrimmage. Knox blitzes. Swing pass out there, and Rob Stuckey had a play on the ball. So it'll be second down and 10 for Miami with 14:08 to play in the first half.
Mike Knox, number 44, the man we talked about as an outstanding inside linebacker. He's been instructed to get after the quarterback. We saw him trying to do it with 4th down linemen. That didn't work. They're now sending 5 and 6. Kosar sees the play is no good. He throws the ball over the intended receiver, and they go back to the huddle, second and 10. Most young quarterbacks can't do that.
This guy looks like he can do about anything asked of him. He has all season. Bernie Kosar dropping again. Second and 10. This time it's intercepted. The monster back, Mike McCashlin, intercepts the ball for Nebraska.
Very important interception. The reason being, the Canes were on a roll. They know if they can get to 24, that's an awful long way to come back. Sure, there's a long time, but an interception at a critical time is very helpful. Mike McCashlin makes it, and Nebraska takes over, first and 10.
Nebraska finally got a big play from its defense. A junior from Lincoln, Mike McCashlin, intercepted Bernie Kosar. There's Mike McCashlin on the sideline, but he knows there's work to be done for these Huskers, and they're a team that is able to do that. But right now, the Miami Hurricanes, a surprise 17-0 leader. First and 10 Huskers. Nebraska averages some 7.2 yards every time they've run the ball this season. But tonight, it hasn't been that way.
And first down has been the critical down. They have to do something on first down to keep the Canes from getting into an 8-man line at the line of scrimmage and stuffing them. They haven't been effective.
Only a 2-yard gain on that play. Second and 8. Rozier, look at this man. Caught in the backfield, and off he goes. Reggie Sutton is straight armed, and he's down but up.
I can understand why he went down. He got a good right cross to the jaw. It looks like Rozier may run it in. If it's anybody but Sutton chasing him, who's a real 4.6, 4.5 speedster, he's going to run away with nobody in pursuit. Sutton follows him all the way. Good. Well, they traded shots. Remember, in the last 4 games, Rozier has run for over 900 yards.
Right now, Turner Gill sprints out, pitches out to Mike Rozier. He's across midfield on a first down carry. It looks like he has 9 before Rod Bellinger again knocked him down. Saw Rozier with that straight arm. Barry Switzer, the Oklahoma coach, said of Rozier, he plays mad every down.
Well, if he does, he sure is mad now.
Not what the Huskers expected. But still, 12:55 to play in the first half. A halftime score at the Sugar Bowl, Michigan, in the process of a possible upset of third-ranked Auburn, leading 7-0. Turner Gill lets a home run ball fly. Scott Kimball is bumped off the play. So it'll be third down and just over a yard.
Well, they don't worry about that third and short. They're going to take 2 downs to have a go at it. You can bet on that. If they don't make any yards right now, this will be the time Tom Osborne knows it's critical that they put something on the board, at least sustain a drive, and they will not be punting.
It's a big down now. It's third and a long one. Shalene hits. Fights. Gets straight ahead, and it's a first down. Tim Brogan coming into the game. Gets a hit for the first down carry, the up back.
Number 66, McMurray. Now he's coming in at the nose tackle position. He's holding his own also. When you hold that center right there on the line of scrimmage, you've done your job, and your linebackers can come and pursue.
Jeff Smith is in as the I back now. The deep back. Rozier's out. This is Jeff Smith. Play faking it. Gill takes it himself. Turner Gill gets down to the Miami 39-yard line on a first down carry. He was good for a gain of about 7 yards. Free safety Eddie Williams knocked him down. Turner Gill has a lot of options. The Yankees want to sign him to a baseball contract. He's a top shortstop.
I think he'll go ahead and play professional football if somebody's smart enough to use him as a quarterback. You remember Wally Moon at Washington University about 6 years ago? Well, now he's coming back as Canada's best.
And about $1 million per.
You got it.
Pitch back, running high with the ball is Rozier, and he's ahead for a Nebraska first down to the 35-yard line. The Cornhusker fans rolled on in, many of them early. It was a little rough out in Nebraska, as it has been throughout the Midwest. Rozier's run the ball now 11 times for 80 yards. 2 big gainers in his first 2 carries of the night. And quiet lately. Scott Kendall comes wide to the left. Tim Brungard again carries the ball. The fullback, the up back, taking it down to the 31-yard line. It's going to be second down about 6.
Don, you hate to overdo one position, but number 62, Tony Fitzpatrick, stands the center up. That allows Jay Brophy, number 54, to find the hole. He hits the running back right at the point of attack. But even with good running, he picks up 4.
You pointed out, John, though, Ken Sisk, Miami's leading tackler, went out with a knee injury. Right now, it's second down and 5. Pitch back. Rozier using his blocks in that great instinctive cutback move. He's down to the 25-yard line. Looks like he might have a Husker first down. Kenny Calhoun, the rover back from Miami, hit him, along with Danny Brown, the right end. Coach Osborne, in good times and bad, never changes his demeanor, a lot like Coach Landry.
No, but it's working inside. I asked him about, hey, has anybody ever had a better offense than you fellas have in collegiate football? And he says, I don't know. He said points maybe, of course, all the statistics. He said, but by game time, I figured out 48 ways it's impossible for us to win.
Well, he's got to do some figuring out to get back in this, but the Huskers are starting to move now at power football. And right now, with 10:32 to play in the first half, Miami wants to check things out. They've got a shaken-up player. Eddie Williams, their free safety, is holding a wrist. So with 10:32 to go in the first half of this golden anniversary of the Orange Bowl, the shocking early number stands. Miami 17, Nebraska nothing.
Quarterback Homer Jordan's 13-yard touchdown pass.
The first Nissan.
All right, if there's any doubt in anybody's mind about whether it's intentional or not, Turner Gill wasn't going to turn around and run away from a fumble that wasn't intentional, okay? Steinkuhler picked it up on the dead run and ran it in. Last time it was done was 1980. Who did it?
The Huskers did it against Oklahoma. Chuck Poole, our man from Nebraska, is coming in the booth to tell us it is the fumble-rooski we've seen, old Broads. You said every team has one, right?
But they don't have one of those.
No, not. And here's a guy almost 280 that runs the 40 and under 4.7. Haas from Burr, Nebraska. 120 people in Burr. And that's a 120-man fan club again, Burr, ladies. Dean Steinkuhler. 17-7. And now Nebraska kicks it off, and here comes Keith Griffin, and the Huskers, fired up by the fumble-rooski, come down and cover the kickoff at the 15-yard line. Only a 9-yard return. All right,
this is a very critical drive for the Canes because Kosar last time had one intercepted. They mentioned coming into this ball game, we're going to fire it around the infield. Last time it stuck in the red jerseys. I doubt that you're going to see them try to run and control it, but it might be a good idea if they got the crowd settled down and themselves a little. Throw the safe stuff.
Bernie Kosar setting his team down, 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line of Miami. High back is Keith Griffin. Markers down all over as big Mike Keeler came blusting through and got a hold of Kosar.
And you know what happened? It's a too much timer, I believe. Maybe it's not, but I think it's too much time. And if it is, what happened is Nebraska shifted their defense late. Kosar has been effective in changing the play at the line of scrimmage to the proper call. That time they shifted late, fooled him, and he let the time run out. They have a 6-7 month season every year.
Yeah, they go to bowl games every year, year after year, decades in a row. They've gone to bowl games. This is the big one in '84, the national championship on the line in Miami. Leading 17-7 now is a 1st and 15. Albert Bentley breaks loose, but a penalty marker comes in at the line of scrimmage. Mark Dahm knocked him down for Nebraska, number 51. 8:41 to play in the first half.
Looks like they're going back again.
Ten-yard run called back. Bomaruski might have done some long-range damage. Miami's taking the momentum away.
What it does, it starts with an interception generally or something. They had so many good things going for them. That was a great interception, by the way. It wasn't just another one. It can turn the tide. At least old Mo do change.
Oh, he does change, and the holding call sets the ball back just outside the Miami 5-yard line. Miami misfiring now. Last 3 plays, penalty, and the one before that, you remember, was the Kosar interception.
They're coming up late.
Blitz. Kosar throws. It's a live ball, and the nearest man to it was McCaslin, who you remember intercepted earlier.
He threw it away, but they fooled him again, Don. That's the critical thing, and that's what the concern of the offensive coaches was, that Nebraska has real good personnel, but they're also very cagey. They camouflage what they're going to do, and once you beat them for a while at one thing, they're not going to allow it to happen for the rest of the game. They've changed a lot of their philosophy right now. They're waiting until Kosar gets set, then they're changing into what they're going to do, and it's bothered them.
So now Miami pinned back, 2nd down and 20. A strike to Dennison and a 1st down for the Hurricanes. Great blitz blocking by Albert Bentley. He just flattened a Nebraska linebacker and a 20-yard resultant pass.
Well, he's an excellent blocker, but this man is excellent getting out of the problem. He finds the hole. Kosar puts it the only place it can be caught. He picks up just enough for a 1st.
3 receptions now for Dennison, the first 2 for touchdowns.
That was just as important.
Yes, sir. Got Miami out of the hole. 1st and 10 Hurricanes. Albert Bentley. A tackle-breaking runner. Albert Bentley's ahead. 16 yards and yet another Miami 1st down. Tried to stay with him, the big Nebraska linebacker, but could not.
Well, it's kind of hard to stay with a man number 16 when he sees Kosar looking to break free. He throws it off to Bentley. It's a loop-off pass. It looks like he's been taking lessons from Plunkett. That's called a bad ball drill. He's 6'5". Whenever they get a hold of you, just throw it any way you like.
And Albert Bentley was there to receive it, and it's another Miami 1st down. So they're out of the hole now to their 41.
whistle blew the play dead, but the Huskers were coming, didn't hear it. It's hard to hear anything here in the Orange Bowl. A cauldron of sound. 75,000 here, and they've been rocking since the outset of this game. The call will be against the Miami Hurricanes. Turner Gill waiting for his chance again.
And he'll get one. He'll get several more. But the last drive was the first time they really did much once they did get the ball. Kosar's brought this group out from the 14-yard line. 10 for 17, 178 yards, 2 TDs. Not bad against the #1 team in college football.
Bernie Kosar from Boardman, Ohio, getting some advice from Coach Snellenberger, and we'll come back to the Orange Bowl right after this.
1965, the first Orange Bowl played at night. Alabama quarterback Joe Namath was hurt and was not expected to play. He did, but even his daring fourth-quarter sneak couldn't give the Tide the victory over Texas. Nevertheless, Namath was named Most Valuable Player.
And there's Joe Willie on the Miami bench.
And talking to Joe about Bernie Kosar, he mentioned simply, he said, this fella can throw. You notice he knows where his bread's buttered. He's in there with the defensive players. He's telling Tony Fitzpatrick how to play defense. He's learned a lot since he's been out of football.
And Joe Willie talks football. The Hurricanes listen. And right now it is a 1st and 15 play for Miami. Hurricanes a surprise leader 17-7 in the second quarter. Kosar looking long, home run ball. Eddie Brown trying to run under it. Old Bernie's got the long distance delivery.
Well, I'll tell you, the important thing there is that he came back and he said, hey, they talked early, we're going to use the whole field. He's got a very strong arm, and the whole field means down the field as well as in the zones. And he has spread everyone out, which gives him an opportunity to hit Dennison in the middle on the third down situations. When you spread that defense out, they've got 53 yards of width to work with. He's got a real strong arm, and you can be effective.
2nd and 15. Could be pumping it again. Brest again shows blitz, bringing the monster back up tight into a gap. Bernie's waiting for him to come early.
He's waiting quite a while.
Fellas have to get on the same page here with 6:58 to play in the first half.
I think you can look for them to now get up, call the play on the first sound. Okay, they'll have a pre-planned play, but don't wait. Don't let them shift. They're getting the best of us when we do that. Not too bad for a team that's down by 10.
He's had 100 yards or more in his last 11 games. As Mike Rozier, the Heisman Trophy winner. Right now, the Nebraska offense waiting for a crack at it again, trailing 17-7 to Miami. Coming in as almost a 2-touchdown underdog. Kosar ready to let her rip. 2nd down and 20. Boy, they pick up the blitz well. He throws. It's low for Albert Bentley, and the Nebraska defense comes up with a big play. Mark Daum's been all over the field, 51.
Well, Mark Daum has a man-to-man assignment on Bentley and once in a while on Griffin, whoever's to the strong side, working in combination with Dennison. And he's been on him for as long as you can expect a linebacker to cover a back, 4 and 5 seconds.
Daum has quite a remarkable story. Earlier this season, he had arthroscopic back surgery, and he also had surgery on his knee all this season. Here he is playing a big game for the Huskers. 3rd down and 20 for Kosar and the Miami Hurricanes. Fast Eddie Brown goes up and doesn't come down with a great defensive play by Brett Clark.
Boy, you know, that's also a nice play by Eddie Brown, Don, because he went in that middle blind. He knew that ball was going to be a collision. Brett Clark, who's playing free safety back there. Let's take a look at it on the wide. Now, they're trying to get back to Kosar by rushing 5 people. They were ineffective with 3, and they didn't get there with 5. Kosar throws it down the field. Clark's playing the ball all the way. That is a collision. Number 40, Eddie Brown, and number 10, Brett Clark.
Great second look, as right now, Miami has to punt the ball, and Rick Tootin kicks it downfield and kicks it far. And here comes Irving Fryer. And Irving Fryer gets it out to the 36-yard line. 41-yard punt and an 8-yard return. They asked Irving Fryer the difference between Lincoln, Nebraska, and Miami this time of year. Irving says, at least in Miami, you can start your car. Other Heisman winners have been on display in the Orange Bowl over the years. Johnny Rodgers led Nebraska to a national championship. Right now, Johnny Rodgers out in San Diego, California. He was an Irving Fryer player. John Lujak, Heisman Trophy winner, never played in the Orange Bowl, but had some great years at Notre Dame, and now automobile dealer in Davenport, Iowa. And Mike Rozier, the 1983 Heisman Trophy winner. Turner Gill, always cool under the fire, and he throws to Rozier. Mike Rozier showing his stuff. Downfield for 13 yards, and the Huskers are starting to cook.
Okay, when it gets wrong defensively, the linebackers can't get in the proper pursuit. You find Rozier in a one-on-one situation with Turner Gill. You've got to stop, make him pitch the ball quick. Now he gets on the cornerback fast, turns it inside. They finally get him, but not before he gets about 10.
And he's over 100 now, John. He has 103 yards for the night on 14 carries. Straight ahead, running the ball. Across the 50-yard line, Nebraska moves into the Miami end of the field on Mike Rozier's run.
Take a look at it. This is what a running back in the I formation sees. Now, he's got a lot of his own people crossing in front of him, trying to get trap blocks. He cuts off a trap block that wasn't very effective. Fernandez stopped the play for all intents and purposes. Number 51 held him to 3.5.
Special NBC remote camera affixed to the upright in the end zone goalpost. First time ever. It'll give you some interesting looks as the game wears on. And right now, Mike Rozier takes a look at a Miami defense that stuffs him on a 2nd and 6 play for no gain. Tony Fitzpatrick knocked him down. There's the camera. I don't know what happens to that expensive camera if one of those field goal or extra points hits it.
It counts if we hit it, I think.
Yeah, but the camera might be out.
Well, that's all right. The point's good.
That's the camera showing you can go up and down and all around. Small, interesting angles right over the field of play. 3rd down and 6, Nebraska. Great throw by Turner Gill to Irving Fryer. And Fryer gets the ball down to the 25-yard line. One coach said when Irving Fryer lines up, it's like pointing a loaded gun at a defense. He can do it all. Gets it running. That's for 25 yards.
Yeah, I tell you, can especially do it all when they don't have anybody in the zone to cover him. He's standing back there running a delay pattern. Now, there's one man you don't want loose in your secondary. That's number 27. There isn't anybody within 5 yards or 10 yards when he catches the ball. Gill had enough time to wait for him. They pick up a big first down and keep their drive alive.
Real big first down. 3rd down play, and it's now 1st down Huskers. They trail 17-7. Turner Gill stands in, throws to the end zone. Todd Frame dives at the ball but can't get there. Backup tight end from trainer Iowa, who's caught some touchdown balls, very fast for a tight end.
Well, Todd Frame made a commitment a little early. It's a very tough ball to catch. A ball is coming right over your head. But when he turned around, he turned all the way around rather than continue running. If you see him here, he's already committed. He would have run right under the ball on the dead run, but he committed too quick.
4:29 to play in the first half. 4:29 to play. Nebraska trailing 17-7. Pitch back, Rozier. He's a dancer until he's one-on-one. Then Mike Rozier is a knockout puncher. He hits you. You don't hit him.
Well, it's wonderful when a back can get his shoulders straightened up. He's in one-on-one situation. Take a look at the whole defense. They're a very pursuing defense, but they are cut off from the point of attack. Excellent block by the tight end. When the tight end gets that kind of a block, it keeps 2 people from getting into the pursuit. The running back can cut up and get some yards.
Good second look as we again go high above the Orange Bowl. Our producer tonight for NBC Sports, George Finkel. Our director, John Gonzalez. Our executive producer, Mike Weissman, is here, and he and his lovely Carol are celebrating a new 1984 son also. Adam, as are the Dennisons, the tight end who's caught 2 touchdown passes for the Miami Hurricanes, as Turner Gill comes over to coach Tom Osborne. Osborne, as you know, John, you played with him briefly with the 49ers. You played there a long time, and he was with the team briefly.
a very enterprising coach. He'll do surprising things in big games, and we saw that with that Bumble Rooski.
I think he's a very consistent coach. I think he sits and he plans and he makes a real study of coaching football. He's done so when he was 21 years old. I don't think there was any doubt in anybody's mind. He wanted to be a college head football coach. And I think he worked under Bob Devaney, got excellent tutelage, and he's moved in 29 and 22 in a row isn't bad, is it?
And Turner Gill has proven himself a winner. He's quarterbacked 30 games for Nebraska. They've won 29. They only lost that controversial loss of sorts at Penn State in September of 1982. Coach Schnellenberger, he's known the highs and the lows of coaching. Coached the Baltimore Colts. The owner came in the locker room one day and fired him.
Yeah, but to his credit, he was smart enough to walk away. I'll tell you what, he came back. He went back with the Dolphins and Don Shula, recouped, went back with the offense, got this job, and has really put something to work.
He's big in Miami. Pitch back. Here comes Rozier, heading down inside the 10-yard line. And listen to those Husker fans that are ripped. They're down in that corner end zone. It put those Huskers on the 50-yard line, but they're down there making some noise.
They did give him a few seats. They gave him some seats down there where the Huskers are right now, about the 10-yard line. They've got Rozier coming right at you. I'd hate to be a defensive back, knowing I had to handle him all by myself.
Again, they go to Rozier, and this time a gambling play is close to a touchdown.
They run that so much. That's their bread and butter. They don't feel that it is a high-risk play. When you have athletes like Turner Gill and Mike Rozier, the coordination is so excellent. They feel, hey, somebody doesn't stop it. We'll just run it in every play.
That's a confident QB that pitches out on his way down, and it almost resulted in a touchdown. Rod Bellinger saved it.
Also a good one.
A real good one. Now Coach Osborne's team ready to get right back in it. They're down 17-7. Second and goal. Penalty markers down. You see the yellow flag down at the line. 3:03 to play in the first half. At the end of the first quarter, it was Miami 17, favored Nebraska nothing. But now the Huskers are rolling, pounding back with that big front line into the game.
That's not really a very important penalty, but when you're sitting down on all fours in a defensive situation, number 62, Tony Fitzpatrick, they may have ruled that he jumped just a little too quick. He's trying to get off on the ball, trying to create some sort of a big play. I think the chance is worth the risk.
Big number from the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, where Michigan leads third-rated Auburn 7-0. That game now in the third quarter. And that is the scoreboard numbers here at the Orange Bowl on the Golden Anniversary night.
29 TDs for a season for Rozier. I get the feeling he may get one more right here.
He's the eye back, the deep back. Free ball. That looked like Gill held it himself.
He did.
That was a second and goal from just over a yard out.
Okay, good shot at it. We see that the defense beat the offense on their own snap count. It's the only way you can keep a quarterback from getting in.
All season long, Miami's been so tough against the run, they've allowed less than 3 yards of rush to the opposition, and have allowed only 9.6 points a game to the opposition. Over the top. Turner Gill is in for a Cornhusker touchdown. And the Big Red from Lincoln now trails 17-13.
Well, they've done one fine job since that interception of getting back in this ball game. Not trying to do it all at once, Don, but methodically going back to what brought them here. Turner Gill, Mike Rozier, a steady defense. Remember, 84 touchdowns throughout a season of play. They've got a lot of time and a lot of weapons, and they're back in it with more than a half to play.
Starting to show that array of weapons as now the extra point by Livingston is up and good, and with 2:17 left to play in the first half, the Cornhuskers down 17-0 at the end of the first quarter are right back in it, trailing 17-14 as Turner Gill takes it in for the second Nebraska touchdown. The first, you'll recall, was a surprise score by guard Dean Steinkühler. A
Another day at the office for Coach Osborne.
Yeah, I guess so. Lucky, and that's on the outside.
Nebraska's got enough guys here. They brought in 136 players.
Yeah, but he only suited up 7 or 8 teams, Don. So he may run a little short before the night's over.
10-play drive, 64 yards. Over 4 minutes the time of possession. Turner Gill on the payoff end from a yard out. Reggie Sutton, the fleet freshman, is the deep man in the trio of receivers on the kickoff now for Miami. 2:17 to play in the first half. You know Kosar is going to try to get some more before halftime. At the goal line. Those Miami special teamers come out and throw some explosive blocks. That's how it went the last time with Turner Gill at rest for the moment. After scoring the second touchdown for the Huskers, they trail 17-14. Don Criqui with John Brody. The 50th Orange Bowl game.
We see another Hurricane coming off the field, hurting a bit. There's a little over 2 minutes to go before the half, and it would be a very, very unfortunate time to create a turnover here. Now they've had control of this ball game at 17-0 early in the game. With the kind of defense they've had, they expect it to be better than they are, but don't get greedy.
Here's a throw by Kosar downfield, and Shakespeare makes a great reception at the 46-yard line. Kid's got 3 balls now, and every one of them a super catch.
Yes, sir. This is beyond this one. He's able to get both hands on this ball. His feet are off the ground. The ball takes him out of bounds. Steps right into it, Kosar does. Watch this. He hits the first thing. He found a way to get his left foot in before his back hit out. Great play.
He put that left foot in, and Stanley Shakespeare gets a 24-yard gain for Miami out to the Hurricanes' 46-yard line. See his numbers. He was the key guy in that opening drive when Miami came down the field and scored.
They're coming after him. That might be a lateral.
Very nearly.
Well, maybe so nearly that it was. But it wasn't called, and I'll tell you what Kosar did very smartly right there. After he threw the ball, he knew it was close to a lateral, and he kept moving backwards, and the officials generally don't register right away. They check after a couple steps, and he got away with it.
The halftime show at the Orange Bowl is always a spectacular, and this year Dan McNamara, the executive director of the Orange Bowl, and his staff have outdone themselves. A look back at some of the halftime shows over the previous 50 years. An extravaganza coming up at halftime. We have 1:54 to play in the first half. Kosar. Whoa, McCaslin had it and was running before he got the ball. Mike McCaslin very nearly with his second interception. They were going to Eddie Brown.
Well, that ball had to slip off his hand. I know it can get a little hot down there. He put a lot of heat on the ball, and it seemed to slip just like a fastball would and go over the catcher's head. If you take a close look at him here, you'll see that ball it's high all the way. The receiver never had a chance for it. I think it surprised McCaslin more than anything.
It would have been an unhappy surprise for Coach Schnellenberger. A second interception. Right now it's 3rd down and 10 for Miami. Again, they pick up the blitz. Here's a throw. Eddie Brown. Ball was right there, but he couldn't hold on. It's 4th down.
Namath said it earlier before the game. He's very impressed with number 20, Bernie Kosar. He said, but I'd like to be 6'5" just for one game. He said he can see the whole field, and that was a perfect illustration of it. He had nobody in the middle, nobody on the left, got a little time, threw it out to the right, and the receiver dropped a big one.
It was an open receiver and a well-thrown ball, but it's incomplete now. Rick Tootin ready to punt again. Irving Fryer's back, and is he something? He's got a fair catch this one back at the 14-yard line. So the Huskers will have 1:31 to play in the second quarter after that 39-yard punt and no return. Nebraska, after trailing 17-0 now, right back in the game. The unbeaten and top-ranked Cornhuskers trailing Miami 17-14. It's been something this first half.
Well, it's just been action-packed. It's like we didn't settle down for a quarter because neither did Miami. It settled down a little bit on the Cornhusker side in the second quarter, and they've still got a minute and a half.
Nothing up the middle for Nebraska. Cornhuskers go to the run. It'll be second down and 10. And the clock runs down to 1:16 to play, and Nebraska now calling timeouts. The Fiesta Bowl on NBC today. Ohio State with a big effort beating Pittsburgh. Georgia upsetting previously unbeaten Texas in the Cotton Bowl at Dallas. A 10-9 victory for Vince Dooley and the Dogs. UCLA came out of flying and blasted Illinois, the 5th-ranked team, in the Rose Bowl here on NBC. Now Turner Gill, pump faking, throws to Shalene on a screen. Like he was going to hit the wrong way.
Pretty good move on the stripe out there.
Big guy started to turn back, and Mark Shalene went to Nebraska at Omaha to start his career. Didn't play football, dropped out for a year, got married, started lifting weights, gained about 50 pounds, and didn't lose any speed. And here he is, the starting fullback for the Huskers. But first and 10 is swept under. Danny Brown, number 41, comes over and runs him down as he tried to roll out. He had Ricky Simmons all the way down to the 10-yard line of Miami, but could never get it away.
He'd have to be the longest, strongest gun in the world to get it down to the 10, but he did actually have a receiver down there. That's 70 yards past the line of scrimmage. That's a good long distance.
Ricky isn't big, but he can go. Shane Swanson comes out in the left flank now. Turner Gill with 5 seconds left, firing in the flat. Throws a strike. Scott Kimball coming down the ball.
He's getting quite a bit of disagreement, I would imagine. I don't see a lot of complaints, so
The halftime show from the Orange Bowl, always a spectacular on the golden anniversary year. It's bigger and better. We'll also be going to Glen Burman in New York, and we'll review the big plays of this first half, and there have been many. There have been throughout college football on Bowl Day, January 2nd this year. Here's the last play of the first half. Rozier picks it up, and Nebraska, after trailing 17-0, is probably quite content to only be down by 3 at halftime.
Very. They were outplayed in the first half. 2 good drives in the last 2 possessions, puts them back in the ball game. I think that penalty has been refused.
So the Hurricanes and Coach Schnellenberger go to the locker room, a surprise leader, maybe not in their minds, but certainly in the odds makers. 17-14, Miami in the lead as we come to halftime at the Orange Bowl. Be interesting, John, to see the second half strategy if the Miami team comes out with that same wide open football that worked so well in the first quarter.
It'll be the same.
Halftime score 17-14 Miami. Time at the Orange Bowl. It is the University of Miami Hurricanes 17, the Nebraska Cornhuskers top-ranked and unbeaten 14. Nebraska rallying back with 14 second quarter points after they were down 17-0 in that shocking first quarter onslaught by Miami. Right now, the Hurricane marching band is positioning itself on the Orange Bowl field. And then the big halftime show begins.
That shocking 17-0 lead. Let's take a look at the first half highlights from the Orange Bowl tonight. As Miami coach Howard Schnellenberger really had his Hurricanes pumped up. First half action, all Miami early going. First quarter, freshman Bernie Kosar, 22-yard pass to Stanley Shakespeare. Shakespeare must write his own plays in the huddle, right? Name like that. Later in the first quarter, Kosar, 2-yard touchdown pass to Glenn Dennison. 7-0 Miami. Still in the first quarter, Jeff Davis, 45-yard field goal. 10-0 Miami over #1 Nebraska. Still in the first quarter, Kosar strikes again. And again, it's Glenn Dennison. This time a 21-yard touchdown pass. And now, shockingly, 17-0. But the play of the night thus far, they fumbled the snap on purpose, and the All-American guard Dean Steinkuhler picks it up. That was a set play. A 19-yard touchdown, and that's what sparked Nebraska after they were trailing big. That made it 17-7. Later in the quarter, Turner Gill goes over the top for the touchdown. That's where we stand right now at halftime. 17-14 Miami over Nebraska. So, what happens if Miami wins the game? Well, the Miami Herald has polled AP voters. The consensus is Miami would be named the national champs. We'll have the second half of the national championship game after these commercial messages.
Time of possession, even though they're behind, they've had the ball over 20 minutes. Is the Miami defense going to get tired?
Well, I think it does bring up the question. It's 20 minutes to 10 minutes in time of possession, and I think your defense has a much more strenuous time out there on the field than does the offense. It's a lot harder to rush the passer than block the man. It's an awful lot harder to chase a Mike Rozier than it is to be an offensive lineman and move around and do what you can. It's also an awful lot harder to play defense against a man running deep like an Irving Fryer. So when people say, hey, both teams are out there, it shouldn't affect either. Also keep in mind the fact that Nebraska has 3 deep, very strong personnel. As far as Miami's concerned, they have 20 outstanding players, but boy, they could be tired.
Well, Nebraska brought 136 guys, so they're deep enough to go for 2 games. But right now it's going to be interesting to see if the Nebraska Cornhuskers can stave off the Miami passing game, which opens so strong. There's been an interesting strategy change. 2 Nebraska players are wearing the wrong jersey intentionally. That's really Dave Burke. Number 2, McCashland, is on his jersey, but he's normally 33 Dave Burke. And Mark McCashland's wearing number 33.
Well, let me tell you why they did it.
I'd like to hear it.
All right, because one of the keys for Miami when they started the ball game was the key number 2. Dave McCashland is the type that gets up on the line of scrimmage. He's a fellow that moves around. He blitzes from his safety position. When he does so, it was a key for the type of pattern that Kosar wanted to throw. Well, early, he didn't seem to have any problem. Whatever he was watching worked. You notice it took him a little time, but he made some fine plays out of plays that looked covered. Then later in the second quarter, the jerseys have stayed the same. The funny thing is, I think Kosar might have picked it up because Burke has a mustache and McCashland doesn't. Now, they haven't gone so far as to change their appearance, so I'm going to imagine that Bernie Kosar picked it up.
Before the game, Fryer and Rozier changed their jerseys, but they switched back. Here's the kickoff to Miami. Reggie Sutton. With a penalty marker down, Reggie breaks her loose. It's a foot race, but it'll all come back. As 2 markers are down inside the Miami 20-yard line, a 32-yard return, but there may have been an illegal block on the part of the Hurricanes. Bernie Kosar with his quarterback coach Mark Trestman. 178 yards throwing in the first half.
And that stat is a little bit misleading because those throws were for a lot of yardage, 178 yards in length, and that's a good stat. That's a good half by any standards.
We noticed this half that Miami didn't like to kick off. Nebraska had the ball enough, they felt, in the second quarter. Miami's plan was to give it to Nebraska at the outset, though, and they did. Stop the Huskers their first drive. Actually a blocked field goal, and then Miami went right down and scored. Coach Schnellenberger wants an explanation. Coaches always do, and they always lose.
Well, I tell you, they don't always lose because they do get the attention of those officials, and somehow I think people who do kind of raise their voice on occasion when the ball goes against you get the best of it.
Hurricanes start off in the hole to start the third quarter. Kosar gives off to Keith Griffin. He fumbled the ball, and it is Nebraska's ball. A great run by Keith Griffin, but Dave Burke, even though he's wearing McCashland's jersey, is the man who came up with a free ball. I wonder if the NCAA would look into that.
Well, there's nothing in the rule book. We looked into it at halftime, Don, and we can't find anything that would preclude someone from doing this. We've been calling Burke McCashland the whole first half and vice versa. So you people at home, I hope you understand. Anyway, that was Burke who made the play. And here is Keith Griffin, who is an excellent one, but the Cornhuskers have the ball, and that's Rozier.
Boy, he takes a pop from Reggie Sutton. The Huskers go to the run, capitalizing on an early turnover here in the third quarter. Nebraska with a chance to take the lead if they can. Maybe they changed identities. He's going to go the rest of his life being Randy Mike McCashland. Second down and 10.
Reverse. Nope.
Fake to Irving Fryer. A big play. Look at the break up there down at the 11-yard line. We had 2 guys go to the moon for the ball.
He can handle it. Here you go.
Third down now. Nebraska needing a big play after getting the turnover. Swing pass. It goes out to Shalene. Open field tackle, but the cut down is made short of a first down, so it brings up 4th down. And Nebraska, well, we'll see if they send out their field goal unit.
I think they're going to. You know, a lot of times you go for it on 4th, but there's 4 yards to go, and they have not been effective when Miami has given up to stop the run. And, well, they're going to have a go at a field goal and a tie.
It's a whole lot better than being behind 17-0, like Nebraska was at the end of the first quarter.
The last one didn't get airborne.
That's right. And that's the reason they only tried 4 coming into this game all season. This one did. Right on range, and up and through it goes, and all of a sudden Nebraska comes out quickly, capitalizes on a fumble by Miami, and a field goal by Livingston ties the game at 17. So the Huskers will kick it off again in a moment when we return to the Orange Bowl.
71 Orange Bowl was the first of Bob Devaney's 3 consecutive wins of the now classic New Year's game, and the first of Nebraska's back-to-back national championships. The Cornhuskers edged LSU 17-12 with a 4th quarter score.
Right now, under Coach Osborne, it's Nebraska 17 and Miami 17. And even though the third quarter's only less than 2 minutes old, Livingston's ready to kick off for a second time. A high spinning kick. Albert Bentley running it back. Albert is a tough hombre, and he comes across the 20 to the 24-yard line. The Orange Bowl right now, the home team Miami, which really had this place rocking with its first quarter onslaught, is in a tie game, and Miami goes to the run on first down out to the 28-yard line. Reggie Sutton was shaken up a bit earlier. Second down and 8. Kosar will be firing. He's got it. Got a man open, Eddie Brown. What a great catch.
They're such difficult catches because you're making it in between 2 defenders. And take a look at it. Here comes Kosar. He throws, gets a little nudge. But when you're Eddie Brown, he knows he's going to get hit as soon as he catches the ball. We see Doug Burke hit him before he can get his feet on the ground. That's a tough way to hit.
Gain offense, 1st and 10 at their 47. Albert Bentley on a draw. Albert Bentley hit once and twice and 3 times.
Expect the Canes to throw. They're getting a 6-man pass rush. Mike Knox gets shielded off the play. Bentley's not going down until he picks up 8.
Second down and 2 comes up for Miami. Again, the Hurricanes pick up the blitz. Kosar lofts it out there and has his man Albert Bentley. Bentley's one of the spiritual. Pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
WJHG-TV, Channel 7, Panama City.
Don Criqui with John Brody. Orange Bowl, 84, Miami. And Nebraska tied 17-17 early in the third quarter. Miami driving. They've not scored since the first quarter. Back to the run. They rip it open. Alonzo Highsmith, the 230-pound freshman from Miami. Rips ahead for yet another.
Once you get that ball and get those linemen spread out a little bit, real good blocking from Bentley, his fullback, allows him to get through the point of attack. When he does so, he rests.
Right now, the Hurricanes moving it through the Nebraska defense as they did in the first quarter. First and 10 to the run. The running, look at this man off with the football. Alonzo Highsmith, the defensive player of the year in Florida last year, is a defensive player here at Columbus High School in Miami. Same high school that Don Shula's son quarterback last year, and they almost won the state championship, or 2 years ago. And right now, John, the big guy on the sideline, says, keep it coming, and he sends a play in, and it looks like Kosar's looking to the end zone. Out flat pass he goes to Alonzo Highsmith. He's going to keep going to number 30 as long as it keeps working.
He did not throw to his backs much in the first half. He threw down the ground, but his backs are renowned for their ability to catch passes coming out of the backfield. They're man-to-man on the linebackers. Kosar hits him right on the break. nice to have backs that can both run the football and catch it, and he's got 3 in Highsmith, Griffin, and Bentley.
For passes in an Orange Bowl was set by Namath in that 65 game. He threw 37 times. Kozar's probably going to go over 40 tonight. 9:55 to play, third quarter. Tie game. First down. End zone, man's open, and Shakespeare has the ball tipped away by Dave Burke.
And a flag is thrown, Don. That is the... That was strict. That was just simply a motion penalty, and they refused it. I'm sure they would have taken a 10-yarder.
Fast Eddie Brown, number 40 at the top of your screen on the left flank. Shakespeare off to the right. Tight end Dennison. He's always a man they like to go to down close. Here's a throw. Penalty marker in the end zone against Nebraska. Coach Osborne says no, but the official says yes, it'll be first and goal down at the 1. Dave Burke calls for the foul.
Well, at least we think it's Dave Burke. We haven't been able to see the look on his face. It's either he or McCashlin. We mentioned before they had switched jerseys. He tries to make the only play he can. He's got no help from inside by a linebacker. A close call. I couldn't tell from that view of whether or not he actually made contact before the ball hit. A very, very close call.
Coach Osborne thought his guy was right there, but it's a first and goal again now for Miami. 1-yard line. Remember in the first quarter, the first touchdown on a similar play was a quick point-blank range. First and goal from the 1 after a pass interference call. Over the top. Alonzo Highsmith. Scott can play football.
I don't think there was much doubt of it. However, when a man's a freshman, you don't usually give him a chance to prove it. Now, Miami's in a situation where they have so many outstanding freshmen. And Schnellenberger's done such a fine job of recruiting that he's using a few of them today. And that one just got the job done.
We're going to watch that again in a moment. That mounted remote camera. Right now, we're looking from the remote camera at the far end of the field. And here is Jeff Davis ready to try the point after, which he hits up and gets that carom shot. It's all right if it counts, and it does, so it's all working right. But they talk about the two things you can't coach, speed and luck.
And take a look from the back. You can see there's no one to meet him when he goes up, so he goes over.
Alonzo Highsmith into the air and into the end zone, and Highsmith, freshman from Miami, just went over the top from a yard out to get the go-ahead touchdown. As Miami, it has not scored since the first quarter, now has taken a 24-17 lead. It's the goalpost camera with a sweeping view of the sold-out Orange Bowl. It's been a tough ticket.
Well, it gives you a unique view, but when you get down close to the goal line, it gives you a very good view. You can see the hole.
Now Miami ready to kick it off. Jeff Davis puts a boom into the ball. He's going to deliver it down to the 2 yards deep. Jeff Smith will bring it out. He knows what to do when he gets the ball, and Jeff Smith, the backup to Mike Rozier at I-back for Nebraska, takes it out to the 29-yard line, and now Coach Osborne ready to send Turner Gill out with the play. Gill is a very quick-witted quarterback. They let him change up as much as he wants to, and Osborne says, very honestly, when we come down to a play that's a decision time with a timeout, we usually go with what Gill wants.
And he has 6 options run-wise, and he looks at the defense every time he comes up to the line of scrimmage, and when they run the ball, a lot of the percentage is audible.
And run it they're going to do it. Turner Gill calls his own number, and a big play is made by Miami. Jack Fernandez.
And Tony Fitzpatrick. Boy, when a nose tackle can slide along the line of scrimmage, get enough penetration to grab the quarterback, that's beyond his job. He's played really superior football, Don, with an 8-week layoff. It's incredible.
That's
one thing about bowl games a lot of people tend to forget. It's almost like a new season. Miami hasn't played in 8 weeks. It's like the opening game. Fire, quick pitch, and they go to Irving Fryer. He hasn't done a whole lot tonight, but look out. Some pro scouts have him rated the top player in the country, Irving Fryer.
Well, those are little bitty throws that often gain him lots of yardage. That time, Kenny Calhoun was standing right in his hair, and it only picked up 4 yards. That play is designed to go about 12. Let's see if they throw.
Fryer came in averaging 20 yards a catch, averaging just over 8 on 4 catches tonight. Gill on 3rd down throws it short of a 1st down. Nebraska will have to punt. Did they really drop it? They did. They had that touchdown, and now the defensive stand by the Hurricanes has again ignited the Orange Bowl.
That's to the credit of Howard Schnellenberger, because when a coach can take a team who is desperately tired at the end of the half after having led 17-0, you get the feeling that, hey, the strength is coming back. We even questioned it ourselves. Since coming out in the second half, they have been strong.
You talked about momentum, John. It has certainly now swung back to Miami. Here's Eddie Brown fielding a punt on the run. And fine special teams play by the Huskers. Knocked down at the 27. A final score is now in from the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. For that, let's go to Len Berman in New York.
Thank you, Don. Final seconds in the Sugar Bowl. Al Del Greco, 19-yard field goal. He makes it. Auburn squeaks by Michigan 9-7 without scoring a touchdown. We'll go back to the Orange Bowl. Don and John right after these messages.
Sugar Bowl, that 3rd-ranked Auburn has defeated Michigan, but barely 9-7. So I think, John, we can safely say if Miami wins, they've got a better than good shot of going to the top.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt about that. That's a very conservative estimate. And if they do win, they deserve to be on top.
But to beat Nebraska, you've got to go to the final gun, and the Huskers really rip it open in the second half. Here's a home run ball. Eddie Brown is out there. He thought he was tripped, and the official now comes in with a late flag and says he was.
He had to make a decision as to whether he could catch the ball or not. It was definitely some sort of contact made about 20 yards down the field. It was a very late pattern. He was definitely beaten. Had he not touched him, and you'll see Eddie Brown going down, not quite able to get the ball. You'll see Burke standing around trying to get off the ground. He had taken a shot at Eddie and actually hit him. I think it's a good call.
Steve Dans, our NBC statistician, shows that Kosar's thrown the ball a lot, and he distributes it. Brown's caught 3, Dennison's caught 3, Shakespeare's caught 3, Albert Bentley's caught 3. This time they're going to run it. Albert Bentley gets the call. He's a tackle-breaking runner on 1st and 10. He gets across the 45-yard line of the Huskers and down to Nebraska's 42.
There have been several impressive Hurricanes tonight, Don, but I think number 16 stands right out amongst them. He's a big back, weighing 225 pounds.
Boy, does he block. He hits that blitzer and makes him wish that he was back in Lincoln. It's another one. Here's a throw to Keith Griffin. And he's inside the 20 and down to the 17-yard line. Bentley just kills guys on the pass block.
Yes, he does, but you know what? It's really heads-up play by Bernie Kosar. This is the man he's supposed to be king. He was wearing number 2, but here's McCasland coming after Kosar. He sees him quickly. Bentley handles him, but he rolls to the right to make it a very easy block for Bentley. When he does so, he knows it's a blitz. He's got a one-on-one situation, finds a way to get the ball to Griffin. He picks up a long gainer and a 1st down. What was it that Schnellenberger said about Griffin? If he'd been playing at Nebraska, maybe he'd be a Heisman Trophy winner?
Well, his brother Archie was twice at Ohio State. Archie's here for the game. Gave the invocation before it. Here's Keith Griffin again. Somebody lost a hat, but Keith Griffin keeps on going inside the 15-yard line. Wade Kreiner, number 85 in the game,
concerned himself right now because he's getting beaten at the line of scrimmage. The offensive line for the Hurricanes are taking it to the Cornhuskers, and those 2 backs are running the ball.
They are running it with gusto at a big Nebraska defense. Now it's 2nd down and 6 for Miami. Play whistle dead.
Too much for time tonight.
You know, John, I thought you made an interesting observation. At halftime, we were talking among ourselves. You said that Kosar has fun playing football. And I think that's illustrated by his attitude towards the game. He said he wants to be a student first and foremost. He plans to be a lawyer. If he never plays after college, it wouldn't break his heart. He'd like to. But he always played football for fun. If it ever stopped being, he didn't want to play the game anymore.
Doesn't look like it's ever going to stop being either.
He's having fun right now, but here's a 2nd and 10 play. They go to the draw. Keith Griffin working hard, puts 2 arms on the ball as it came back and went with the head with a go-ahead touchdown.
It's a critical time. Now, Jeff Davis is the man that got him into this bowl with a last-second field goal against Florida State. To me, I don't think you'll see them throw a high-risk pass right now. They'll give Jeff a chance to kick a field goal if they can't find a back.
End zone look at Kosar. A strike. Eddie Brown dives down to the 7-yard line. It looks like he might have enough for a first down. A 3rd and 10 play, and it appears that Miami got there.
We talked about earlier their offensive line and backs didn't make a miscue for 5 games mentally. Look at it now. You think Bentley isn't geared into McCaslin? It doesn't matter what jersey number he's wearing. He better change again.
Eddie Brown makes the catch, but again, Bentley picks up the blitz to give Kosar time to deliver. And now the ball's down. 1st and goal for leading Nebraska 24-17 with the national championship of college football on the line of this game.
This is number 16 has been so instrumental on the key plays. Some of them have gone unnoticed. Obviously, touchdowns do not.
At the moment, they're letting the good times roll in Miami as Albert Bentley is on the payoff end of that touchdown run. And Miami opens up a 30-17 lead.
How sweet it is, eh?
For the moment. Back earlier, and Jeff Davis is right there with the extra point. Now the pressure is really on the Cornhuskers. But there is a lot of time to go.
That offensive line is doing a job.
Back to the Orange Bowl right after the 44 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Miami, after tied up 17 all by Nebraska, rallies now for 2 quick touchdowns, and the Hurricanes lead 31-17.
And you don't like to belabor a point, but they have run the ball on 1st down on both those drives 9 out of 12 times in the 2nd half. Just the opposite of what they did to start out the ball game. It's given them control of the clock.
Miami, Florida, this is where it's at tonight. Here comes Jeff Davis into the ball. The gun sounds a spinner downfield. Irving Fryer with that great speed breaks it up the middle and gets across the 35-yard line, and a penalty marker comes in. We talked about the explosion of the Nebraska offense, which can detonate at any time. Right now, the Huskers had some catch-up to do.
There, the explosions happened on the other side.
And now a mark-off against Nebraska.
Tony Fitzpatrick, 62, making sure the ref doesn't miss a beat.
2 very impressive Miami drives. The first was 75 yards for the go-ahead touchdown. The last 73 yards in 6 plays.
The way they've been executed is the impressive thing. They've changed the personnel in the key situations. They didn't go to number 16 in the first half much at all. This half they've come to him in critical 3rd down situations. Also 40. They're doing it.
We're were talking earlier, John, under Schnellenberger, Miami is rarely a loser on the home field. They're 11-2 on national TV under Howard, and even more impressive at the Orange Bowl. 26 previous games, they've won 24 in the Schnellenberger era.
And people talk all over town. You see signs on buildings, and it's been the most enthusiastic Orange Bowl I've attended.
Unbelievable. This is your 8th. Hurricane warning, they call it. And here comes Mike Rozier, turning the corner. Puts his head down. He will take on the tacklers. Rod.
I think most of the country can hear these fellas right now.
It is loud in Miami right now. Last 5 carries, Rozier has gained only 9 yards. He's the man who averaged almost 8 a carry all year long. Gill throws. Great catch. Scott Kimball had it and lost it. Scott Kimball from Camarillo, California, went up in the air. He's an athlete, and a Miami player is shaken up. And there's also a penalty marker down. We might have a foul against the Hurricanes. It'll be a big break for the Cornhuskers.
That was a very late flag. It was not thrown while the ball was in the air. You do not see it right now.
This has been some football game, and it's got a long way to go. Kimball goes up, and they apparently ruled that Rod Bellinger had a piece of him before the ball came in. Now it's all coming back.
I don't know what it is, but we'll wait and see. Rod Kimball's had a member of his family in the last 8 Orange Bowls. He had a brother that went to Oklahoma. Scott, excuse me. He's got a lot of brothers. They've been playing here.
They're going to mark it off from the line of scrimmage. Here's the call. It is against Miami. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
I get the feeling that unsportsmanlike conduct was swearing, because I didn't see any fisticuffs. I didn't see any action after the play. But there was an official there, and that can be penalized.
Sometimes in the heat of battle, the wrong thing is said, and if he hears it, well, like then it's 15 yards. Rozier had some thoughts before the game, and let's listen to Mike, the Heisman Trophy winner.
This is the real house of the Rozier family. As you notice, we have no breaking down boards on the windows, dogs running around, no shootouts, no gangs. It's a nice town, and I really love it there. I'm glad to be from Camden, New Jersey.
Thank you, Mike. Mike reacting to a story that on another network, apparently, they shot some scenes of Camden in an area other than where the Rozier family lives. You can see where all the Roziers grew up as a real nice place, and it's a terrific family. Met them all at the Heisman Trophy dinner when Mike got the award. His brother Guy is also on the team. They're close-knit. It is now first down and 10 for Nebraska. Door was closed for Mike Rozier on that one.
Hey, that Reggie Sutton, we see him on the ground every once in a while, but when the play's on, he's live. You know, and I think really it's time, if Nebraska is going to get back into this football game, that their offensive line takes over, because those are the fellas that have been given a lot of credit all year long. They're losing at the line of scrimmage to a very strong Miami defense.
And Miami, John, has throughout the season been stronger in the second half. Rozier, he's got blockers. Puts a move on, cuts back, and Sutton makes a move on him and knocks him down. Second and 15 play, he got back about 10 or 11, but it looked like for a moment he might go the distance.
It also looks like he has a little limp on his left leg. Listen, when a man like Sutton is sitting in the open field with Mike Rozier, you're not supposed to bring him down. The fact that he stopped him, stumbled, it made him fall out of bounds is an excellent defensive play. Excuse me. That is Kenny Calhoun that missed him originally. Now watch Reggie Sutton come up. He's sitting here with about 7 yards either side.
So now it is Turner Gill holding the ball. He breaks into open field. A first down and more as Gill comes inside the Miami 40-yard line and down to the 38. And they'll now check out the very valuable left ankle of Mike Rozier. An 11-yard gain on that carry by the Nebraska quarterback with 3 minutes left to play in the third quarter.
It's been remarkable that a man like Rozier stays as healthy as he does throughout the season, running the ball as much as he does.
Well, that is true.
Those great running backs are very durable.
5'10", 210 pounds, Mike Rozier. It's 1st and 10 now for the Huskers. Gill play vacant. Eludes the rush for a moment. Throws on the run, and he loses his man incomplete at the 25-yard line. A great play by Turner Gill. Threw a fastball on the run, hit the ball right down, but Monty Engebretson, the tight end, couldn't hold on.
Well, you see, the Miami defense did a fine job on the play, but as Howard Schnellenberger said, he said, you know, this fellow, when he doesn't throw, averages 6-7 yards a carry. When he goes back to throw and decides to run, he said he's only 8 when he does throw, so we don't really care what he does. It's going to be a tough night. They're doing it pretty well so far.
2nd and 10, Nebraska. Huskers down by 14. Pitch back. Jeff Smith, 20. A move to the 10. And the Cornhuskers lose the ball inside the 5-yard line, and Miami has it.
Trying to keep his group pepped up. They make a big play trying to get back in the ball game. 14 points down. Let's take a look. Dean Steinkühler, number 71. He leads Turner Gill out. Gives him a little time to make the option throw. When he does so, it's a beautiful timing play. Fumble, which I don't think anybody expected, as Nebraska hasn't fumbled the ball all night. Very good tack play by Eddie Williams down there. The ball's coughed up, and an alert Miami defense falls on it. 35-yard run and the fumble.
Coming off the field is Fred Robinson, who came up with the football, a senior defensive end from Miami, Florida. Coach Schnellenberger doesn't have to go far to find good football players.
And he's played very well.
Stopping a touchdown, but there's a big problem now for Kosar and the Miami Hurricanes. Downfield he goes. Whoa, very nearly intercepted by Nebraska. Dave Burke went up. And Eddie Brown
is when he's trying to catch it. He knows he's outpositioned by Burke on this occasion. All he can do is grab Burke's arms. As you see, he grabbed his left elbow, and when contact was made, he pulled him down and kept him from being able to intercept.
A very big play by Eddie Brown, but again, Miami goes now 2nd and 10 from the Hurricanes' 1-yard line. They better hurry. They've got 7 seconds to get it off. Albert Bentley, he did well to get to the line of scrimmage. These Huskers are looking for the ball.
Actually, he couldn't lose too much. He's on the 1-yard line already.
2:09 left to play, and the clock running in the Drama Bills already today. 3rd ranked and previously unbeaten Texas. So 2nd ranked Texas going at the outset of the day was upset by Georgia. Auburn, the 3rd ranked team, was a 2-point winner over Michigan in the Sugar Bowl. And right now, Miami ranked 4th in one poll and 5th in another, has a 14-point lead on top ranked and unbeaten Nebraska. Late in the 3rd quarter at the Orange Bowl. Bentley puts his head down, but Mark Daum is there to stuff it. That was a 3rd and 10 play, and Miami has to punt the ball to the Huskers.
You know, I think they're using their head. What he does is on 1st down, he sees if we can't get a big play to get out of here. That's when I'll get some time to throw. But he's not taking any unnecessary, foolish risks by going back throwing on 3rd and 10, getting caught. See where Bernie Kosar has done anything but act like a seasoned senior, and he's only in his 1st year.
Right now, his teammate Rick Tootin ready to punt from the end zone. Nebraska sets up coverage. Tootin unloads. Irving Fryer has it. White shirts hold their lanes on punt coverage and make Fryer take it up the gut, and he returned it 9 yards after a 41-yard punt. But Nebraska now pitch back goes to Jeff Smith.
he can go. And Jeff Smith is ahead for a 5-yard gain to the 31.
I think an interesting statistic here might be to bring up that Miami is the team that on first down has averaged 8.8. You get to see it on your screen. Nebraska 3.6. That is not their style. And you must credit the Miami defensive down linemen and linebackers.
They've played very well indeed, giving away a lot of size, but when it comes to the quickness factor, Miami's up there among the national leaders. They give up less than 10 points a game. Turner Gill looks, fires, and he has a strike. Scott Kimball turning off the flank and out, goes down to the 21, a 9-yard gain. It's a Nebraska first down. That'll do it for the third quarter, John Brody. The gun sounds at the end of the third quarter. The score is Miami 31 and Nebraska 17. As Miami could be a quarter away from the national championship. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Mike Rozier, and this could be the key play as he was hit on his left ankle. You'll see him cut back. Reggie Sutton catches him, and Rozier, the premier runner in the game, has not been back since.
Yes, sir. It's a big situation. But let me tell you something. Opponents have scored only 10 points against Miami all season long. Now, that is an amazing statistic, and they've got a 14-point lead. So it's an uphill battle indeed, whether they have Mike Rozier or not. And without him, it's really steep.
Up back, takes it straight ahead, Mark Shalane. Interesting, John, that in three Orange Bowls, Mike Rozier's never been in the end zone, never scored a touchdown in this game. And in the second half tonight, after rushing for 138 yards in the first half, he had a total of -2 yards and 3 carries in the second half. Canes were looking for him.
I think what you're seeing right now is a little change in philosophy as far as Nebraska's concerned. They're throwing the ball more than they normally do.
2nd and 9. Turner Gill takes a look. Man is open. Scott Kimball loses the ball at the end zone. Incomplete. Rod Bellinger with play after big play for Miami, and frustration builds on the Nebraska sideline.
Well, frustration should, because Turner Gill thought for sure he had a touchdown. He pulled the string on the throw just a little bit. When he did so, he had no play. You take a look, Scott Kimball's in perfect position. The ball didn't have quite enough zip on it, and Bellinger was right there.
Nebraska down 31-17, but a long way to go. 3rd and 8. Number 95, Kevin Fagan.
A sophomore, Don. Fellow that came out 2 years ago. He was like 45 or 50 pounds lighter than this. He was a walk-on, and are they glad to see him?
Well, they are, from Lake Worth, Florida. Right up the beach. Fagan's actually a sophomore, Kevin Fagan. Now 4th down, and Livingston ready to try a 47-yard field goal. He was on time with his last one. This one's taken way short and wide left, and the Hurricanes take over. This 1984 Orange Bowl game is brought to you by light beer from Miller. Everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. By the people at Soliford. The numbers break down in Miami after a big first quarter. No points in the second, and again the big third quarter. Now with 13:34 in the ball game remaining, Hurricanes take over 1st and 10 after the missed Nebraska field goal. Quick hitter. Nebraska's there to stop it. Rob Stuckey makes the stop in Mike Rozier. The great runner for the Cornhuskers, who went out with an ankle injury, has not returned. Trying to walk off that ankle injury, was unable to. Jeff Smith has been in at the eye back when Nebraska's had the ball.
Can't do anything if you can't run. I mean, he's made a very big contribution. What's happening right now is that Miami is unexpectedly winning the battle at the line of scrimmage.
Even though they're smaller, they are indeed. Bertolucci, Camandiero, Sinclair, Ward, and Heffernan, the interior linemen for Miami. Kosar, play fake.
Screen.
Griffin catches
catches the ball. And those Huskers are hitting tonight. A scoring recap of the game. You remember that first drive of the Hurricanes that passed to Denison? It was 7-0. 45-yard field goal by Jeff Davis. Miami extended his lead to 10-0. Then another throw to Denison from Bernie Kosar. It was a surprising 17-0 shocker. Then the surprise play by the Huskers. The 11-yard around. And Nebraska was on the board. And again on a 1-yard dive by Turner Gill, making it a 17-14 game. The third quarter field goal by Nebraska tied it. Then the Hurricanes opened up. Highsmith, the rookie, went over the top to put them in front 24-17. Albert Bentley went 7 yards for a touchdown. That's how it stands now. 31-17 Miami. Alonzo Highsmith had it and lost it. He stops the clock with the incomplete pass at 11:58, and the Huskers will get it back now as the Hurricanes have to punt. Kosar looks like he's been playing this in the big leagues for 10 years.
Well, I'm sure he has been going over it in his mind in the big leagues, and he'll be in them for quite a few more. You can tell some guys fit there. He's one of them.
He's got a long time to go at Miami. A freshman, actually a redshirt freshman. He's in his second year at school, but he was redshirted his freshman year. But as an athlete, he's a freshman. A line drive punt by Tootin. The Cornhuskers were able to recover it. That would have been tough to come back from a fumble by Irving Fryer, but a Nebraska teammate comes up with the ball. 47-yard punt, no return. Back after this. The shoe on Mike Rozier's left foot just came off. It's been diagnosed as a severely sprained left ankle. And you have to think at this point it's unlikely he'll be back. Where are they now? Leon Hart, one of 2 linemen ever to win the Heisman. Big Leon out in Birmingham. John Hewitt, another Notre Damer, 164. Right now, Jeff Smith breaks it open for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Gets out across the 30 to close to the 35. John has taken his bonus money from the Jets and has parlayed it. Out in Tucson. Second down and about a foot now for Nebraska. Irving Fryer comes out in the right flank. He's not been hit deep yet. They're going to try it pretty soon, though.
But he's been hit a lot.
Oh, yeah. They're looking at deep now. Gill throws. They get the first down as they go to tight end Monty Engebretson. Taping up Mike Rozier again.
They're putting the try in anyway. You'd like to be able to go to your Heisman Trophy winner if when the game gets late and you're 2 touchdowns back, he could insert some sort of adrenaline, but I don't think it's their problem right now. Both of the backs that have replaced him, Jeff Smith and Paul Miles, they both run very well. It's at the line of scrimmage.
Miami is tough. End around. Nebraska recovers, but Ricky Simmons, who took it on an end around, lost the ball in the big 300-pound tackle. Mark Benning from Denton, Texas, fell on it, but there's a loss on the play for the Huskers. And the clock runs down to 11 minutes to play.
Seems to be the way it's gone all night long. Just when something looks like it'll break, we flub a handoff. If we make a big run, somebody causes us to fumble. It hasn't gone their way, and a lot of that is because the Miami Hurricanes have played very opportunistic, aggressive defense.
Ricky Simmons goes to the sidelines. Miami was so prepared coming in. Rod Bellinger's taken some licks. Boy, he's passed some out. Right now he's helped off again. Lucius Delagal goes in to replace him, number 47. The freshman, Reggie Sutton, is up against Irving Fryer on the right flank. Over the middle they go. Todd Crane catches the ball. It's a Nebraska first down out to the 49-yard line. A 15-yard gain on the play.
They've done very well at using very few seconds on the clock, moving the ball some 35 to 40 yards down the field in some minute or less than a minute. The receivers have been able to get out of bounds after they've caught the ball. But remember, when Nebraska gets behind, they don't have a lot of drop-back passes. They have that play-action stuff that isn't really too effective when it's 2nd and 9, 3rd and 10, and everybody knows you're going to throw.
They go to the run. They
go to the quick hitter to the fullback, Shalane. Mark Shalane gets across midfield down to the 47-yard line. On a first down carry, got about 3. Jay Brophy made the tackle for Miami.
Well, you can't say enough for the defensive play of Jay Brophy, Tony Fitzpatrick, Fagan, you name it. All those fellas are standing people up at the line of scrimmage, and that's a great football team they're playing.
Good fake by Gill. Looks long, guns it. The pass is complete downfield to the 36-yard line. Scott Kimball coming back at the ball.
Very well thrown ball and a well-run pattern.
Good for 12 yards and a first down for the Huskers.
Don, I don't think they have enough time to be fiddling around running into the line right now. I know that's their pattern, and they've always done so, and that's part of the reason I think they get in trouble when they get too far behind. Of course, they haven't done it all year long.
Yeah, the catch-up offense has not been part of their repertoire.
That's right. I bet they don't practice it much.
But they have been in 2 tight games that have gone down to the final play in the end zone. The Oklahoma State game, they won 14-10, did Nebraska, and after that one time Osborne said at least they can't accuse us of running up the score in this one. And a couple of pass breakups against the Sooners of Oklahoma by cornerback Neil Harris saved that game. 28-21, Nebraska won. Jeff Smith breaks it open, and Jeff Smith rockets down to the 22-yard line. It is a first down and a 15-yard gain.
So much from my viewpoint. I start talking about how they have to throw it. Okay, take a look. Dean Steinkuhler, Raridan, the 2 real big, all Big 8, all-American, all-everything linemen come out and do a fine job. Give their running back a chance to run. Jeff Smith's doing the job when called upon.
Miami doesn't shy away from big teams. Notre Dame came in with a front line as big as Nebraska's, and Miami shut out the Fighting Irish here in the Orange Bowl 20-0 this year. First and 10, run takes it down to the 20-yard line. You were talking, John, about the enthusiasm, really the emotion of this whole metropolitan area rides with the Hurricanes tonight. Miami football's been down until the Howard Schnellenberger era. He's brought it back, and tonight it could hit the pinnacle.
Yes, and so many people have talked. You know, when you take a look, here's a defense that's, led the nation in so many categories, and yet they were given very little chance against what some people think is the best team that's ever played. So
Gill calls his own number. Quarterback draw. 3 steps back, and the quick shoot up the middle. He's down inside the 15-yard line. Coach Osborne sends in the plays. Got to be taking a look at that clock, which now is down to 8:35 and running.
They've used it very, very well. Remember, when a team picks up a first down, it automatically stops the clock until the chains are moved. So you can pick up some time that way. There's loads of time.
3rd and 2. Tough to call signals. Very intense crowd. Looks like Turner Gill might have fallen on it, John, and if he did, he could have been enough for a first down. We'll see where they spot the ball.
He's got it, and it looks to be a first down.
Dr. Tom Osborne.
Well, I know this, that if they don't give it to him, I'd have it checked, because it looks like it's close enough. It doesn't look like it is one, but it's within 6 or 8 inches.
4th down. Heisman Trophy winner Mike Rozier is out with an injured ankle. Nebraska without his best weapon. The pitch back to Jeff Smith. He turns the corner. He's got the first down from behind tackle, drives him down to the 5-yard line of Miami. And now Nebraska goes first and goal from the Hurricane 5. 7:34 to play.
Tell you what, Dean Steinkuhler, you sit there and so many times people will say, well, why do we always feature him? He features him the whole scene. They run behind him a lot. He's a great blocker. He pulls very well, and he makes contact at the point of attack. In a critical situation, he picks up a big first down, or is responsible for it.
It was a freshman, 255-pound Jerome Brown, 98, who made the knockdown. And now Miami players attended to. Looks like it could be a heat cramp. We'll be back to the Orange Bowl right after this.
January 1st, beautiful skies of Hawaii. The 1984 Hula Bowl Classic. Next Saturday on NBC Sports.
Don Criqui with John Brody back at the Orange Bowl. This is what the two teams are playing for. It's nice, but the national championship, which is also on the line, is priceless. Right now, with 7:33 to play. Miami has the lead, but Nebraska's challenging. Miami leading 31-17.
the clock running. Nebraska, after scoring early in the third quarter after fumbling a recovering a Miami fumble to tie the game, has not scored since. As you see, the Hurricane defense holding Nebraska to 35 points below its season average. Huskers come in scoring like a basketball team. 52 points a game. Over the top. Jeff Smith is in for a touchdown. 6:55 to play, and the Huskers are right back in it.
I don't think there's much doubt they'll go for the one-pointer here. Some people say, hey, wait a minute. What do we do? Do we go for the two-pointer or the one-pointer? I think psychologically it would be a defeat if you go for a two-pointer and don't make it. You see they're starting to move off at the line, at the point of attack. Their offensive line actually had all the action on the other side of the goal line. I think it would be a downer if they went for two and didn't make it right here. Whereas if they kick the point, they stay within 7 and a chance to make 2 later. And without Mike Rozier.
So Johnny Rogers on the sideline. They were asking, where is he? He's right here. There is no overtime, as you know, in college football. The extra point by Livingston is up and good, and it's now a 31-24 game. Nebraska will kick off with 6:55 to play. 31-24 Miami with a 7-point lead now as Nebraska puts up its first touchdown of the second half and an over-the-top dive by tailback Jeff Smith.
Some things speak for themselves.
Michelob, one smooth and mellow taste tells you all you need to know.
If they should tie this game, would they get the next touchdown? Would they go for the tie and maybe get the national championship? They could conclude unbeaten.
I think they definitely would if they did it soon enough. But I think if it happened late in the ball game, they'd go for the win. And I think we'd have a chance to see whether Tom Osborne thought it was better to win the national championship or to win the Orange Bowl. I know it would be a very unpopular decision if it happened late and they didn't take a shot to win it. But those are coaching decisions. I can remember a game several years ago where there was a 10-10 tie between a couple of nationally ranked teams, and it didn't settle well with the fans at all in Notre Dame, did it?
People forget, though, Michigan State punted after Notre Dame did.
Yeah, that man seemed to survive quite well.
A high spinning kick down to Keith Griffin. He's got a problem. Look at those Huskers come down. Oh, these guys are playing like champions now. 6:49 to play. Miami has the ball. John, of course, a moment ago referring to the 1966 game between the two unbeatens, Notre Dame and Michigan State. Ended in a 10-10 tie, and the Irish won the national championship.
And it was for the same reason that they went for the tie. So, you know, if people make such a large issue of who wins the national championship, and people have done so, which is most important?
It's a pretty large issue, folks.
That's right.
The whole state of Nebraska rallies around the Big Red, and right now they're putting the heat on. Kosar hit from behind, but he gets it to Eddie Brown. Eddie Brown's got some moves he hasn't used yet.
Hey, I think, you know what I think? I think Bernie Kosar would like to have access to what this camera does. He'd like to see number 87 coming around, you know, Bill Weber hitting him in the back just as he lets go of the ball. It'd be a whole lot easier to play that position if you could.
That was the NBC remote camera up on the goalpost. Eddie Brown with his 5th reception. He got Miami out of jail for the moment. It's 2nd down and 4 right now. Miami leading 31-24 with 6:41 to play. Keith Griffin puts his head in Miami.
A lot warmer on the field underneath those shoulder pads and helmets.
Light it up, signaling the new year.
That's a little mock-up of a man that's injured. I guess all's fair and whatever, not by me. Let's see what Bernie Kosar does here. I think there's a good chance you'll see him throw a pass in the 3rd and 2 right here. Little short one.
Nebraska blitzing. Bernie throws. He's got Keith Griffin. He's got a 1st down. McCaslin and Brett Clark knocked him down, but the the money throw from freshman Bernie Kosar to senior Keith Griffin. Gets a first down for Miami, and you see the clock, 5:51 to play.
I'll tell you, he had Keith Griffin so far open, he threw that thing like a shot put. That baby was not going to get anywhere but to old Keith. Good play at a critical time. Good call.
Old Keith is all business, too, isn't he, when he gets it? To that earlier fumble, he's made some big plays all night long for Miami. Got away from the Buckeyes, did Keith Griffin. Left Columbus to come to Miami. 1st and 10, Hurricanes. Keith Griffin, he's popped by Mike Knox, that tough inside linebacker who broke 5 helmets already this season.
How'd he break them? While they were on his head, or?
Yes, he did. He didn't drop them after practice.
All right, Mike Knox, outstanding linebacker.
So he broke them.
Gets in good position.
6'3", 235, Mike Knox from Castle Rock, Colorado. Butkus type. See, they don't like to be around him in practice. He didn't know when it's the real thing or not. He knows, but he likes to go full speed all times. Knox, 2nd down and 9 now, Miami. Hurricanes lead by 7. 4:40 to play. In the flat, it goes to Eddie Brown, and he dives it in. Breaks it open. Look at this play. That's just fabulous athletic ability. 41 yards.
There are a lot of people with great athletic ability, Don, but there aren't many people that continually come up with the needed play at the needed time. Kosar's one, and number 40, Eddie Brown. He's the fellow that got them back in the ball game against Florida State, gave them a chance to kick a field goal late, win the ball game. Beautiful play, breaking those 2 tackles.
Boy, it was a tremendous play. 31-24, Miami and White with the lead. Kosar has set an Orange Bowl record for passing yardage, 300 yards for the freshman. Live action, Albert Bentley. He's been quiet for a while, but not now.
Oh! That was a touchdown. If he keeps his feet, he made so many good moves to get in the open. It was very difficult to keep his balance, but what a great play. There's another man, number 16. Their offensive personnel has really outplayed Nebraska's tonight. Number 20, 16, 44, 40, you name them. Number 6, Stanley Shakespeare, early in the ball game. All of their, what you call skilled positions, have had great nights.
Albert Bentley with the big run, as you point out, John. He was gone and able to hold his footing. He did get up, first down. This holds up. There's going to be some party in Miami.
Well, you know, it's funny. No matter how much you hear,
will be aflame.
No matter how much you hear and how much enthusiasm the city of Miami had, all the smart people said, hey, yeah, but they're playing against Nebraska. Now, who did they beat? They beat some good teams. I'll tell you, East Carolina and Florida State at the end of the year were playing exceptional football. Anybody that saw them play in a bowl game knows. And these guys have come to play.
Again, they pick it up, Keith Griffin. Go to the draw play, and Keith Griffin is ahead on a first down carry down to the 26-yard line.
You know, by design, when you're blitzing against a draw play, you should stop it for a loss. But if just a small crack opens and the offensive linemen use good technique, they can break something for the back, and he can pick up good yardage. That's what happened. Kosar read the blitz, gave the linemen a chance to see their blocks, and look at the crack they created. Beautiful play. Bentley, number 16, was in there at the point of attack.
Juan Comandiero, the Cuban-born guard, had the big seal block to open the draw. At 2nd down and a long 4, Keith Griffin runs, and the Cornhuskers, Rob Stuckey rides him down. Top-ranked and unbeaten Cornhuskers, who at the moment trail Miami 31-24.
And if they get one more timeout, it's going to force Nebraska to take their timeouts before they get possession of the ball. This is a very big play. Now, if they can move the ball about 3 yards, they'll be able to kick a 40-yard field goal, and this ball game would be history. So I expect them to probably either throw a short out or try to run the ball about 3 yards.
Let's Let's see. It's third down and a long 3. Keith Griffin, nothing there, and the Cornhuskers shut it down. It brings up fourth down. And the game clock continues to tick. 1:53, 52. Now they stop it. One of Coach Schnellenberger's sons. Another one's on the team. Stu Schnellenberger, an important part of it. 1:53 to go in Miami's quest for a national championship. Underdog, our leading top-ranked and unbeaten Nebraska, 31-24. Bernie Kosar's right arm has been a key. The freshman from Boardman, Ohio. And another very, very difficult factor that's mitigated against the Cornhuskers is the injury to their great runner, Mike Rozier, the Heisman Trophy winner, out with an injured ankle. Went out in the second half. Fourth down now. Here's the field goal attempt. Jeff Smith drills it. Didn't get there. Nebraska will get the ball with 1:47 to play. John, we're going down to the final gun, it looks like, of this one.
And you can see some coaches are very quiet and passive. Others get their group ready. And this man has been an inspirational force for this group all year long. He's not about to take a back seat right now. 1 minute and 47 seconds between the Miami Hurricanes and a national championship.
Wide left, and it's no good. And so the Cornhuskers get back the ball with 1:47 to go. And the unbeaten Nebraska team trailing by 7. Irving Fryer. Rod Bellinger saved a touchdown. Finally, Fryer, who's been dormant, explodes for 29 yards, very nearly exploding for the distance.
What a beautiful throw. Now that was a play in which he only took 3 steps back. It's the first pass in this half on first down. And that is a very effective decision itself.
29 yards, it used 6 seconds. It's covering some ground.
A lot of timeouts left, a lot of time. There's no hurry either way, but I think this man has left it all out there. Rodney Bellinger, number 4, has done a phenomenal job on Irving Fryer. Played him one-on-one throughout most of the evening, stopped a lot of in sweeps. Let's take a look here. Just a little 3-step drop. He catches Fryer in between the zone, and we're back on the field.
Live action, 1st and 10. Gill gets it away on the run. Shane Swanson goes up in the air, but came down. It was 1:28 to play.
Jack Fernandez made another good play, forcing Turner Gill to throw the ball a little before he wanted.
Nebraska, unbeaten, the dominant team in college football this year with a 52-point-a-game scoring average, trying to come back without the Heisman Trophy winner, Mike Rozier, sidelined with an injured ankle. Here's a throw, and down with the ball is Ricky Simmons. It's a good catch, and the Huskers have it down to the 26-yard line of Miami, a 19-yard gain.
Beautiful pattern. That was perfectly timed and a beautiful pattern. They can throw that ball from a drop back, and people have talked about for what Nebraska does. Turner Gill is a great quarterback. I think he could be an exceptional T-formation pro-style quarterback. It's just that he can adapt to any style.
Ricky Simmons way wide now, and here's a give up the middle, and this time the Hurricanes defense is there to shut down Jeff Smith as the clock runs. 1:13 to go. And now Nebraska signals for and is allotted a timeout. And then, of course, theoretically, looking at a possible Nebraska score, John, if they go in, they have the option of going for the win with a 2-point conversion. The much higher percentage kicked extra point would mean a tie game. They'd still finish the season unbeaten. And would they be crowned out? In all the probability they would be. But we don't know. We don't vote.
You know, that's a decision for Tom Osborne to make. It's obvious if he goes for a 2-pointer, the only way he can come out on top is go for a 2-pointer and make it. Because then there can't be any second guessing. A 2-pointer and miss, they say, hey, why don't you go for the national championship? A 1-pointer and tie, why don't you go for the win? So he's in a no-win situation if they pick up the next 25 yards. But hey, that's no gimme. They're playing against the toughest team in the country in the last quarter of football. This group's only given up 10 points all year long.
Tom Osborne, a doctor of educational psychology, Ph.D. He can stay under control, and so can Coach Schnellenberger. Second down and 8. 1:12 to play. Turner Gill with his 28th pass. Irving Fryer, he dropped the ball. The best receiver in the country, but even the great ones have a lapse. And Fryer's came at a most inopportune time.
Irving Fryer has not been a big factor tonight. He's got a chance, as the great ones always do, to make the catch to put them back in the ball game, and he dropped the gimme.
Steinkohler picks it up. We'll see if it's a fumble. Well, they're ruling his arm was in motion, were they not, John?
Well, it's pretty tough to tell.
A play they'll never forget if Nebraska doesn't go in.
Now, I don't know if this man has ever dropped a ball. They've never been in this kind of situation before, but to be regarded as one of the top 5 players in college football, you couldn't have ever dropped a ball in a situation like that. And I don't think there's any more to say, because nobody could feel worse. He's just hoping to get another chance.
That's it. And now it could be his very last one, because the Cornhuskers have 4th down coming up. 4th down and 8. The ball at the 24-yard line of Miami. One last look. The earlier play, Irving Fryer with the goal line sprint. A perfectly thrown ball from Gill, but it's dropped. He split the defenders and was wide open, was Irving Fryer. And then in his heartbreak, he collapses to the ground. And now 4th down is coming up for Nebraska. The Cornhuskers with the longest winning streak in major college football. They've won 22 straight games. 12-0 this season. Ranked number 1 all year. But they're down by 7. Look at this play, Jeff Smith. Touchdown, Nebraska! The Cornhuskers somehow find a way with Mike Rozier on the sideline, his backup. Jeff Smith takes the pitch back up. Brilliantly executed play by Turner Gill. 24 yards and a touchdown. Now it's a 31-30 game. And what does Nebraska do?
I have not seen the kicker come on the field, and I don't think he's coming on the field. And I think that they've got things going their way. Tom Osborne made this decision a long time ago. Don't think that this situation caught him by surprise. He's decided to go for 2 and take his shot at winning. I commend him for it.
This is for the national championship for Nebraska. Point that would have tied it. They would have still finished unbeaten. But courage was so evident there. The integrity of Nebraska football and that whole state was on the line. They gambled and lost, but they're certainly to be given great credit for trying.
And let's remember, this ball game is not over.
Right you are. 48 seconds left to play.
But this is the try. I think he made the right call. I just commend a guy that has the nerve to do that. He's willing to put it out there on the line. He called a good play. The ball was dropped. That's the way football goes. Miami's played a great football game. And if in 48 seconds they become the winner, they certainly deserve to be national champions.
The golden anniversary of the Orange Bowl turns out to be the greatest game of all.
And an onside kick, I don't think we have to make much discussion about. It will happen. Let's see how it comes out.
Coach Howard Schnellenberger. His heartbeat's got to be 180.
He knows this case is not closed. Mark Trestman is down there saying, look, Coach, if we recover the ball, we do not have to run a play to run out the clock. They've got 2 timeouts. That won't be enough. We'll be able to end this thing and go in a winner. But they must get the onside kick. I thought they had some timeouts, and they don't.
What a football game in the golden anniversary year. Steve Lynch, the Orange Bowl president. All the people on the Orange Bowl committee had hoped for a great game. There was speculation Miami would be blown out. Everybody here had faith in Don Osborne. Showed his dignity and his courage, going for the win. The Huskers didn't get it, though. And now Miami has only to run out the clock.
And, you know, just like ball games go and certain people are kind of ordained to do certain things, the last play of the ball game, number 16, Albert Bentley, comes down with the onside kick. There have been a lot of great plays. I guess the last one's always the most important.
You know, when you're in this business, John, you always get asked, what's the greatest game you ever were at or saw? This is it for me.
And this is about as fine a football game as ever been played, and happens to be for the national championship. That man has done it all.
Set it to music. This is Hurricane Warning, number 1 in Miami.
They say the wind is picking up. I heard it just this morning. The flags are being raised because it's a full-blown hurricane warning. They're lining in formation, all shining orange and green, busting butt on their own turf. There's nothing they ain't seen. You just look out, Nebraska. Better hold on to your corn, because the hurricane is coming. It's looking like a storm. Block 'em. You can do it now. Knock 'em to the ground. Drag 'em to their end zone and kick their butts around. Hit 'em where the corn don't grow. Plant 'em in the ground. Make sure they hear the warning that the hurricane's in town.
Watch out for the hurricanes, they're stirring up the night. When you make a move, you better make it right. Watch out for the hurricanes, they're blowing up the storm.
So much for Hurricane Warning, and now the final 46 seconds of this game. Game that'll be replayed emotionally by these players and their fans throughout the years. A hallmark game in college football. A great demonstration of courage by Nebraska going for the win, and for Miami an absolutely miracle year. The dream season as they come back from a bad loss opening day to go to 11 straight wins, and in all probability, when the votes are in, a first ever national championship for the Hurricane.
And I'd like to say that the coaching staff, the players themselves, felt they were going to win tonight. They were not in awe of Nebraska. Now, many of the fans were, most of the writers were, and I think anybody who had seen Nebraska play was. But these guys did it because they knew they could.
I'll tell you right now, school's out. This place up for grabs. Locker room after one of the most dramatic football games, I would venture to say, in the history of this great college game.
And you notice that man has still got his composure. He had it he was saying very softly all week long, I think we can win. We've got the people to win. We can't afford to make mistakes. We can't afford to get anybody hurt. But I'll tell you, if we all hang in there, I feel we can do it. He's been letting his team know. They've been preparing for 6 weeks, and they did it. That's a wonderful feat against a great team.
It was, and the confidence you talked about, John, really was evident all week long. Even when he went to scout Nebraska at the Oklahoma game, Schnellenberger says they're going to be the best team we'll face all year, but they can be beaten. We can't make mistakes if we're going to do it, but we can win. And they did.
And it was an offense that came out from the gun, throwing the ball around. They knew they had to put some points on the board early, get a lead, hang in there. They did that. Then comes Nebraska back, and they did it again. I mean, when everybody said, oh, boy, they'll make it close anyway, now they open up another 14-point lead. That man right there, Dennison, catches 2 touchdowns.
And here is the critical play of the game. Nebraska goes for 2. The play is broken up at the goal line, and the Huskers, in their valiant effort to win the game rather than go for the tie, come up empty. And ultimately now the victory, and possibly, quite more than possibly, the national championship going to the University of Miami. There are 2 polls, of course, the coaches' poll and the writers' poll. We'll be back to the 50th Orange Bowl in a moment. But right now it's Miami, a 31-30 victor. Let's go to Len Berman in New York. Len?
Thank you, Don Criqui. What a day it's been around the country on Bowl Day 84. And really, when you think about it, number 1, number 2, and number 5 all lost today. So the big day for upsets. Who will be number 1? We'll figure it out in a few minutes, perhaps. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the highlights from around the country today. First up, the Fiesta Bowl right here on NBC Sports. The View in Tempe, Arizona, as Pittsburgh thought they may have had a late 4th quarter win with the snuffy Everett field goal. But Ohio State showed some class coming back. Over the years, they've been a running team. Here, they win it with a touchdown pass with just 39 seconds to go. Tom Zach to Jemison, and they win it 28-23. On to the Cotton Bowl. The Dogs did it. They trailed 9-3 to number 2 unbeaten Texas, but Texas fumbled this punt late in the 4th quarter. Gary Moss recovered it for Georgia. So then Georgia, they took it in from 17 yards away. Their quarterback, John Lastinger, did it. So number 2 unbeaten Texas loses to Georgia 10-9. In the Rose Bowl today here on NBC, all Bruins. The Pac-10 continues to do it to the Big Ten. Number 5 Illinois goes down to defeat 45-9 at the hands of Rick Neuheisel. This 15-yard pass to Carl Durrell was one of 4. That tied a Rose Bowl record. So when you think about the last 15 Rose Bowls, the Pac-10 has won 13 of them. Then the Sugar Bowl tonight. Auburn fans feel perhaps they should get a few votes for number 1. They knocked off Michigan by a score of 9-7, although they did not score a touchdown today. They did all with field goals. Bo Schembechler and Michigan, well, they had the lead throughout the game. This was the only touchdown. Steve Smith, 4-yard rollout, 7-0 Michigan. But the Auburn defense really did a job on Michigan here. 4 turnovers. Now, here we go. Al Del Greco, 19-yard field goal, 3rd of the game with 23 seconds remaining. Auburn wins it 9-7. Their fans say, give us a couple of votes for number 1. Now, the game you just saw, one of the great collegiate bowl games in history, perhaps the top Orange Bowl in their 50-year history. Miami knocks off powerful Nebraska as Howard Schnellenberger and company do it. They took a 17-0 lead. Bernie Kosar, 2-yard touchdown pass to Glenn Dennison. That was the first of the touchdown plays. Then the trick play. Here's how Nebraska got on the board. The snap that they fumbled on purpose, the guard, Dean Steinkuhler, picked it up, ran 19 yards for the touchdown, and Nebraska finally scored and trailed 17-7. Now second half action. Albert Bentley, 7 yards away. He takes it in. Miami now leads it 31-17. Critical play here. Mike Rozier is hurt. Leaves the game with an ankle injury. He finished with 147 yards. But Nebraska came back. Heartbreak here for Irving Fryer. Wide open, and he dropped it. But Nebraska got Fryer off the hook. Jeff Smith did it on a 4th and 8. Smith takes it all the way in for the touchdown, and Nebraska closes to within 1 at 31-30. The gutsy call going for 2 points. It's not to be. Miami wins it 31-30. So, Who is the national champion? Is it Miami? Is it Auburn? Or is it Nebraska? All have just one loss. Nebraska's gutsy call may have lost them the game going for 2 points, but it may have won them some votes. We'll find out 6:30 tomorrow night. Len Berman in New York. Back to the Orange Bowl now.
Thank you, Len. 31-30, the final score. Miami the victor. And now let's go down to the Miami locker room to Bill McAtee. Bill?
Okay, thank you very much, Don Criqui. Bernie Kosar, I think somebody forgot to tell you were a freshman. You hung in there, showed a lot of poise. Your line did a terrific job.
I'll tell you, today the offensive line, they really haven't been getting much credit all season. And there's the guys like right there, Ian St. Clair, Paul Berticelli, my roommate, Alvin Ward, all of Dave Heffernan, Juan Cummings. That's a heck of a group. And those guys, they said they'd give their life for me, and I think they just about did today.
I know Nebraska plays a lot of man, and there was no doubt that you felt you could throw on them.
Yeah, we went into the game thinking that, we were going to be able to throw the ball. We tried to mix it up early, and I think we did in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, we kind of got out of our game plan, kind of started throwing the ball too much. But we got back into it the third quarter and were able to move the ball.
You had a couple of new plays in there. I know one of the touchdown passes to Dennison was new.
Yeah, I think the second touchdown we had today was that it's called 50 wide middle as a new play, and it worked well.